Men and women probing the unknown blackness of space. Worlds beyond imagination lie before them. Star Trek, tonight at 8:30, 7:30 Central Time on NBC.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners.
All right, we're back. Time again for another Not Trek Watch, although I do have some Star Trek stuff because Thursday Strange New World starts, so we'll talk a little bit about that. But so many movies, so much TV, even a little comic book news. I'm happy the boys are joining me as usual. Here they are. Franco is on assignment, but we got Wayne, we got Mitch, and starting things off, we have all seen the Odyssey, Greek Lord of the Rings, if you will.
Yeah.
It lived up to the hype as far as I'm concerned. And I, being the Greek, it's my home cooking. And I've seen Troy and 300 and 302, 301. I don't know what the hell it was called back in the day. But yeah, I thought this was great. It was an echo of your classic epics like Ben-Hur and Ten Commandments, but with a modern spin. I thought the cast was great. I really loved it. I mean, I got my little quibbles, but I really loved it. How about you, boys?
I had no problems with it. I just thought it was a little too long. To me, it's just long. But yeah, no, I think it hit all the major points in the Odyssey, like the major ideas, the major things Homer was trying to say. But I had no problems with the cast. I felt I was not in an IMAX theater, but I felt like I was in IMAX. The way that soundtrack kept on
reverberating.
Yeah, crushing my lungs.
Yes.
So, but yeah, no, I thought it was an okay film. If I didn't see it in the movie theater, it would not have shocked me. Like I could see it on TV.
Here's a case where you could have made two movies of the entire story.
Yeah.
Like, unlike, when Peter Jackson made The Hobbit and made it two movies, I'm like, come on, it does not need to be two movies. And it was a three. There you go. And that's my point. Exactly. Lord of the Rings, I understood. Hobbit, no. And I still haven't watched it kind of as a protest. But I'm glad it was all in one movie. And honestly, for me, all the different parts, it's funny because it was kind of like Mandalorian and Grogu in that way, where you had like little mini adventures going on. I don't know, Mitch. What'd you think altogether?
Well, I mean, you can't be a naysayer and go, "Oh, this is crap," because the spectacle I saw in the IMAX. You got it's almost like I hearken back to the days of the Lucasfilm glory because you got people on their game. You got the best technical people. Obviously, the IMAX camera, I read all about that. They had to come up with a special device that would, lower the sound because these IMAX cameras are the size of a bus. And the reason why they didn't do a lot because it was such worrying. It was like a lawnmower engine, and you can never hear the dialogue, so they'd have to re-record it. But this time they came up with a box that they put it in so they could actually use it, and the whole movie's filmed that way. So technically, it's amazing. That's what I mean, like the old-fashioned, even like the James Bonds. When we were kids, we go to those movies, and everything was on the screen. They were building sets. They got a 60-foot puppet for the Cyclops. Because I'm watching this going, I'd almost want to watch a 3-hour making of rather than the movie, because I'm such a nerd about this stuff. I'm like, I know he doesn't use CGI. Like, how did he do the whirlpool effect? You'd be surprised if it turns out to be, it's like a bathtub type of thing in the background or something old Hollywood style. But you had your cast of 1,000 or thousands. And I was thinking the same thing, like Cecil B. DeMille. Like when I was a kid, you'd have your Ben-Hurs and you'd have your epic movies with Charlton Heston and Kirk Douglas and Edward G. Robinson. Oh, everybody and the brother was there. So this is their version of that, which we haven't seen in a long time. I remember in the 70s, we'd have like A Bridge Too Far, and you'd have like 60 actors in this movie that even if the movie was crap, you went to see it because you're like, oh my God, Robert Redford, Paul Newman, blah, 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 blah. But again, the Odyssey, I went to Catholic school, and it took me a couple minutes, but suddenly I was back in Sister Mary Schaefer's lit class, and I go, oh, they're going to turn into pigs now. And it's been 45 years, but all of it started flooding back. Like, oh yeah, this is what's going to happen. Oh, and that's Helen of Troy. And then this guy's going to betray her and this one, that. It's a soap opera. But like I said, a little long because I did check my watch 2 or 3 times and I was like, oh my God, we got another hour. Not that I was like bored and I didn't have to go to the bathroom. And some of the performances I thought were a little off. Again, I hate to be the guy that needs it, but my kid calls me last night. He saw it, and the first thing out of his mouth was, yeah, I didn't like Tom Holland, man. I was like, what? And he loves Spider-Man. He had problems with Holland's performance. It seemed out of place,
Well, I didn't mind his performance, but what did bother me was that he called his mother and father mom and dad.
Mom, there was that, and then the F-bomb got dropped. And I said, okay. Yeah. What are you doing? And they go, well, we're trying to modernize it for today. And I'm like, I don't want to see Shakespeare because I've done plays in school where we had to speak Shakespearean and it was horrible. But it did take you out of it because you know what I mean? You're watching this movie and you're in the zone. You're 3,000 years in the past. And suddenly somebody says the F word and you're like, wait, what happened? And he's calling mom. And he said, when he said mom and dad, I was like, huh? What? Not father or mother? I mean, you expect that. Like, royalty type of thing,
Right. The other thing I would have said, and I thought they both were great, but I would have swapped Charlize Theron and Zendaya's roles. And I would have made Zendaya Calypso the Sea Nymph, and I would have made
they probably didn't
Theron,
want to do that because of the age thing
or whatever.
Well, no, they didn't want to have like a 50. What is he, like 56?
Yeah,
now?
That's fair.
And then he got a 20-year-old girl. Yeah, that's not.
That's fair. Yeah, you're right. That's probably.
But I'll tell you what. If you wanted to take a pee break, and we were joking about that because it's such a long movie, and we're older guys, and our bladders aren't what they used to be. And I love the guy. I saw him on Broadway, and I've talked to him. I've met him a couple of times. But honestly, you could have got up during John Bernthal's scenes and got some popcorn and come back. I know he's a great actor, but it was just like when they're walking through and shooting arrows and they're just going back and forth doing exposition, like, oh, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then this happened. I'm like, okay, we could cut this. You could trim a little bit of this off,
I won't deny, as a Greek person, that when I heard Lupita Nyong'o was going to be Helen of Troy, I will admit a bit of cultural bias. Not, again, lovely, lovely woman, but I wasn't sure how I would feel seeing African Americans and Africans in the movie. The guy from Yesterday who played Odysseus's number 2 was excellent, and he's an Indian gentleman. And I would buy, again, forgive me, everybody, this is the Greek guy saying this. I wasn't sure I'd feel. They were fine. Elliot Page, I was worried because I had heard that he was going to be Achilles. And no, if he's Sinon, who is a little trickster, okay, that works. Because I'm like, I had heard Achilles, and it's like, no, man, Achilles is like a titan, like like
Mhm.
Hercules.
Yeah.
and has
We're doing
strength.
Clash of the
and
Titans.
and
Yeah,
this is a tiny person and everything. It's like that's not going to work. But Elliot Page was fine, and Lupita Nyong'o. They performed great, and and once and again, I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna argue with Christopher Nolan. I wouldn't have cast it that way, but having seen the performances, I got no problem with it. It was fantastic.
yeah. No, I wasn't distracted by any of that. I was just like, good, just a play, just people playing the characters. I didn't think twice about it. But
Yeah.
no, the only thought I told Ordway, it's so serious, it's so kind of full of itself. It almost bordered on parody in a way, because I almost thought it was going to turn into a Monty Python movie. I said that so often because when they were like, "Run away!" I kept waiting for someone to scream that when they're on that
sheep, when the sheep were going into the
when the sheep. Honestly, it's like you don't want to do this, but I thought it was like the rabbit, the killer rabbit, when they're like, "I'm going to
no, it absolutely was."
And they go in the cave, and all of a sudden the rabbit starts attacking them. Their blood is gushing out. When they started following the sheep, I was like, wait, they're going to do a Monty Python right now. Or when they were all running on the beach, and there's like 1,000 guys, I kept thinking, run away! And I just needed a cow to be launched.
With the Giants.
And I swear there was a Kirk Douglas movie when they met a Cyclops, and I know I saw it, and they were going back to their boat, and I could have swore he was like throwing rocks down. The Cyclops it was like in the 50s. Maybe it was Victor Mature. I don't know. But he was throwing things trying to sink the boat, and it was Ulysses or whatever. And I'm thinking, if the Cyclops starts like hurling sheep, I'm going to crack up, because it's going to be like, but you can see it happening. And Ordway's like, yeah, I thought a couple Monty Python-esque moments, like was it supposed to be a Hydra at the end? It was almost bordering on
yes, it was a Hydra.
It was like a Doctor Who special effect. I was like, "What is that? Is that a garbage bag and a hose? What are we doing here?" You know, because the guys were being plucked out, and I'm like, "What is that?"
But the opposite of that, when the big final scene of who can string Odysseus's bow and shoot it through the axe handles and stuff, I don't. There's a movie company that does a version of that where it's a hole in the axe face, and that's what they shoot the arrow through. It's like SLN or SLM or SLG, but it looks like a Roman statue doing that. I kind of liked the realism of have it shoot, under the metal, and that way, because that's plausible. And I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you got to hand it to Nolan, man. He believes in practical effects.
I'll tell you that. And that scene there, and when you guys all saw it, what was the audience reaction? Did you hear a lot of applause? Because I only had one person in a sold-out theater that clapped, and then she stopped clapping because I guess she felt awkward because nobody else was clapping, because it was almost like that one.
Yeah.
And I think they were going for a Rocky moment. Or Han Solo shows up at the end, and they expected the audiences go, but it was so. My son said this too. You knew what was going to kind of happen, because he's the guy in the cloak, and I am here, Father, and he takes the thing off. I like the string of the bow when he does the little thing. That's his Indiana Jones moment.
Exactly. That's awesome.
Supposed to do it, and that was cool. But the fight that followed, it almost seemed like a little too much, because he's not the biggest guy in the world, and he's not supposed to be. But when you're taking on thousands of dudes, and he's like whipping that thing around, I don't know. That was my little suspension of disbelief. I'm like, I don't think that he could take all those dudes.
Well, again, it's. I mean, this is the fantasy part of the story, and that's.
You got to remember. Look at everything he's gone through. Of course, he could do all that stuff.
Of course, he could do it all. And then I did have to stop my stupid comic book brain, because it happens when you run Terrificon, Connecticut's #1 Comic-Con, happening August 7th to the 9th at Mohegan Sun. Buy your tickets now. What happens is I'm watching this movie, go, oh, Batman is fighting Spider-Man, and the Catwoman is there, and there's the Punisher, and wait a minute, over there, that's Matt Damon. He's born there, So it's just insane that you got to divorce yourself from the comic book movies too much, But
no, I understand. Everyone's.
Who else would you have cast though? We were doing that. Ordway and I were casting people as we were driving
Odysseus?
back. He was fine. Matt Damon's fine. The Martian's on now. I was just watching it. I go, Damon's a solid guy. You're never going to take it away from him. He's like a a Paul Newman. He never gives a bad performance. Every time you see him, you go, he's a good guy. But I think it's maybe because we saw him as such as a young guy in what was it? Good Will Hunting.
Mhm.
It's hard to see him getting older, maybe because he's like around my age. So I keep going, oh yeah, it's Matt Damon. I remember him when he was like 20 years old in Good Will Hunting. So you're not seeing the progression. It's always the same young kid. I'll never look at him as like, oh well, he's an older guy now.
I bought him as older Odysseus and everything. I was okay.
Well, yeah, like just like in the last Jason Bourne movie, like he looked like that aged out super soldier from whatever plan that was.
Well, here's a little secret. I've never watched those movies, so.
Oh,
Michael Stratford, I didn't know about this. He said, check out The Return, a smaller version of the same story starring Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche. I really enjoyed it. Not epic like The Odyssey, but more satisfying to me. Also, The Asylum, apparently, because of course The Asylum. I mean, it's public domain, The Odyssey. So theirs looks like a Ray Harryhausen movie. And of course, you got to make comparisons to Clash of the Titans and the
Jerry was telling me there was an Armand Assante miniseries, which I never saw. I'm like, I don't remember that. He goes, didn't you remember that in the 80s? I go, no.
Yeah.
Yep.
Was it like 5 nights or something, or
like 3 nights? I think
NBC miniseries of the week or whatever.
Yeah, it was just a miniseries, a short one, not long.
Yeah, it was either made for Canadian or another international, I think, company made it. But it was good. It was fine for what it was. I never saw the modern Clash of the Titans release the crack.
I did. Yeah, the kids went to see that. Yeah.
But I mean, the Harryhausen stuff, I did. And I love that,
I'll tell you, it's really cool that he doesn't use CGI. I mean, I like the fact that no one's going practical on the stuff because it does make you go, wow, how did he pull that off? Like the giants, like the people with this armor, and it reminded me of Clash Excalibur. But I was thinking, did he hire shorter actors to play those? Were those kids? I mean, I'd love to find out how he's doing that stuff.
Perspective.
I was going to say exactly.
Okay, the same thing like they did with the Hobbits. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Because I'm like, how did he pull that off?
And also, I wonder if kids. I don't know if because all right, we all got assigned the Odyssey when we were in high school.
Yeah, we did. They don't do that anymore.
No, and also I wonder. I mean, I don't know who read it, and I'm more likely we all read the Cliff Notes back in the day. The yellow and black Cliff Notes.
No, I had to read it. The nuns beat us up if we did that. So,
my teacher had a speech impediment, and she would say Odysseus, and it was very funny to hear her say it. And in fact, I was telling my best friend that I saw the movie, and immediately he went to high school and Odysseus. I'm like, yes, exactly.
I had to translate Dante's Inferno from Italian into English because I went to this Catholic school with these nuns from Italy. And I was telling Ordway that. He goes, that's insane. I go, no, I mean, you don't realize when you have a good education as it's happening, but years later you look back and go, hell, that was pretty damn cool. I mean, kind of smart, pat myself on the back.
I mean, honestly, again, I know it's fantasy, but it's Greek fantasy. And again, you don't need to cast Greeks, but I would say, you want like Barenthal was fine. And I mean, any Mediterranean people, or even, as I said, the guy from yesterday that made that, do you remember the movie Yesterday? No,
I thought that guy was, Jerry told me he was some director. That the guy with the beard that played his first mate guy. Jerry said, oh no, that guy's a movie director. I'm like, he is?
Well, he might be as well, but I know his last name is Patel, and he is the lead. If you remember, Yesterday was the movie where he's the singer and he gets hit by a car, and when he wakes up, he's in a world where the Beatles never existed. So
I saw that movie. Songs. Oh, that's him. I saw that. Yeah.
No, he was great.
Oh no, I didn't know who it was.
But everybody, Circe was Samantha Morton, and she was incredible. I mean, that's the thing. I'm like,
that was creepy, though. I'll tell you that the pig scene stuff. I mean,
that was awesome.
It wasn't a horror movie, but just the way that she was pulling it like clay and molding it and stuff. That was really cool. That was well done. And I couldn't believe when there was dolphins jumping out of the water, and I'm thinking to myself, I thought he doesn't use CGI. Then you find out, no, those were real dolphins. As they were filming the movie, they jumped up on camera. I go, but no one broke character. You didn't see Matt Damon go, hey, check that shit out. But they just kept going with it. But that was really cool. James, those are one of those things you can't plan. That I was like, wow, they left that in.
James says the director you were thinking of is Benny Safdie.
That's
He
the
was the
one.
guy in
That
the Black
yeah,
Hour.
yeah. Ordway was telling me that. I didn't know who he was. He's like, oh, he's a director. I'm like, I guess, sure.
Exactly.
I forgot John Leguizamo. I didn't recognize him at first. It took me a couple minutes to go, who is that? Who is that? And they go, wait a minute,
He was
that's
great.
Leguizamo. So now you have
He
the
was
clown from Spawn in this movie as well. Another stupid, and MJ from the new Spider-Man was Athena. Yeah, there you go.
And you had Clea from Doctor Strange.
And Clea from Doctor Strange was in this. Yes. So sad. We're so losers. Ooh,
no, that's what. Hey, man, those are the big movies. What are you gonna do?
That's I know, right. And that's how I know him as. I'm like, hey, it is.
My buddy Rob Burnett made the point, and he's right. When you think about it, Dunkirk and Oppenheimer and this are the three Christopher Nolan movies about war and the consequences of war. Yeah. And that's Oppenheimer's more the well, both I would say Odyssey and
Oppenheimer that starred the Scarecrow from the Batman movies, and then
Iron Man, of course.
Yeah, and then Dunkirk, you had Bane was in it, wasn't he? The pilot that could crash in his plane or something. Yeah.
Tom Hardy. I can't. It's been so many years. I don't remember if he was in it.
Yeah, no, it was Tom Hardy.
Wasn't Gary Oldman Churchill?
Yes, he was. That's right.
There you go, Commissioner Gordon.
Well, wait, was that because I think that's a Darkest Hour. That's a
Darkest Hour.
Because that's where Gary Oldman played Churchill. So anyway, enough of the comic book movies. Let's focus.
I know. No, but it's like, and you know what? And I read it today because I was asking Ordway. I'm like, do you think it's going to do well because it's 3 hours? You only have so many times you can show it in a theater because they got to get people in and out, and popcorn and all that jazz. But I saw today it broke a bunch of records. It was rated R, which I was surprised. I'm like, why? Because of the
violence.
Dude, I've seen more violent stuff that's gone under the PG-13.
Yeah. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of blood in this movie. I think it's the beheadings.
Okay, yeah. I was surprised it was rated R.
The only thing beheaded I remember was the statue.
Give me a break. Cut the girl's head off.
Guys are getting swords in the throat.
I saw Supergirl guy got a sword in his throat and his heart, and that was rated PG.
They did.
The guy, she put the sword right through his throat, man. I saw it. Whatever.
Have to rewatch it.
Supergirl's got enough problems. They had enough problems.
I didn't think they showed her like doing the sword, but I didn't see. I don't remember the head being cut off. Seeing the head being cut off.
Well, that Supergirl. We already talked about that one.
Yeah. No, we talked about it last week. Absolutely. Well, that's the thing. Is Wayne reminded me. Spider-Man is this coming weekend.
Next week.
Next weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not.
No, the 28th, 29th. That's 2 weeks. Well, not this Friday. The Friday after. Yes.
Okay.
Because I got tickets for it already. I already know. But
oh, you're right. You're right.
I'm glad it made a lot of money because whenever you hear, "Oh, movies are dead," and no one's going anymore, I go, "Oh, bullshit." Then again, though, I don't know about you. I checked my ticket stub. Bro, I paid $18.50 to see a movie at 2:30 in the afternoon. I go, "Where's the bargain matinee?" And they go, "Well, it's IMAX." I go, $20, man. That's a lot. My kid paid $29. I talked to him. He's in Boston. He goes, "Oh no, it was $29 at the Alamo Draft House." I go,
I saw it in 70 millimeter, but not in IMAX.
Yeah.
At the Music Box, which is one of the few theaters in the city that has 70 millimeter.
Yeah.
But it was expensive, and also. I also have to say, and maybe because of the location, but it was mostly an adult audience. I didn't see a lot of young people at the audience.
No. Really?
No.
We went at 2:40 in the afternoon last Thursday, and it was sold out except for that like weird front row that nobody sits in. We saw in an IMAX theater, and like I said, it was $18, $20 a ticket. I was surprised how many people were there because, as my wife says, how many people are out of work and don't have jobs that are going to a movie at 2:30. But a lot of people were there that day because the 7 o'clock was sold out and the 10 o'clock was sold out. But those were younger people because when we were walking out, the 7 o'clock was all young kids. They were all going to see it. So, and my boys are 28 and 26 now, and they saw it with all their buddies opening weekend. So I'm like, it got young people to go. I mean, they all went to see Oppenheimer. My kids love.
Well, I was going to say exactly. Maybe it's those people that already have the trust with Nolan, and not to mention Dark Knight and other movies. that
Yeah,
he made
that's
over
true too. I mean, because I was like, why are you going to see Oppenheimer 2 or 3 times? They loved it. I go, really? Once was enough. But
It made watching the Odyssey made me rewatch Oppenheimer.
did it really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now, why
'Cause I
is
really-
that? Because you want to see like the craftsman?
I respect Nolan,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to experience it again. And I really was thinking I might see Dunkirk at some point this week as well, because he's the Prestige. I mean, he's a
The
great
Prestige.
director.
He is a great
Inception
director.
and the space picture, Interstellar.
Wouldn't you? Yes, absolutely. Whatchamacall? God, I can't think of the name of it now.
Inception.
Interstellar.
Interstellar. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, Interstellar. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
And you know what? So you do say that. It's funny. My boys, when they were younger, they were teenagers. They all went with me to go see Interstellar because of the spectacle, and we all saw it on the IMAX, and it was like a big deal. I mean, sometimes the stories get there's a lot of layers in the Interstellar. Is not an easy story because it's like, what the hell's going on? He's pushing books out of a library, and he's going back in time, and he's old and young, and you go on a planet, and for 3 days you're suddenly 40 years older. There's a lot going on, but that's not a bad thing. I mean, God forbid you go to a movie that makes you think, it's like, wow, look at all the stuff that guy's put into it. He's doing his research. And in this movie as well, I mean, they're going in there, though I do got to admit, I was like, how did they make that Trojan horse? It almost looked like bronze. I thought they were using wood. They didn't have bronze technology, or was it like, don't start.
Well, it was the Bronze Age.
It was the end of the Bronze Age, but how long did it take them? 10 years they were on that. I was like, what's going on?
They're on the beach.
Yeah. They're on the beach, yeah.
Yeah, because the walls were impenetrable.
Honestly, again, I was impressed at how cool the Trojan horse looked. I was expecting the classic wood with the wheels.
That's what I was thinking. But
no, this was great.
Bizarre. They sold the popcorn holder of that out in the lobby, and I'm like, you got to be shitting me. What do? Open the belly up and the popcorn comes out of it? They had it there though. I couldn't believe it. I didn't buy it. Ordway was looking. I go, you don't need that crap. Get out of there. He's like, I might buy that. I'm like, no, don't. Please don't. Put your ashes in it when you're dead. My wife would say.
But I really, honestly, I wasn't sure how Zendaya was going to be, and she was great. And
the music was cool. I mean, everything was cool. There's nothing bad about it.
Nolan's a craftsman. Like he's a director's director. That's probably a better way to put it. He's a craftsman. He knows how to structure a movie. He knows how to place it. For me, again, I know the story. So
I know. That's what
walking into it. It's like I think it's the difference between this and Lord of the Rings is I've read the trilogy so many times, but it was to finally see it on screen.
Yeah.
Because you wanted to see how could they translate the movie. But for me, there's a more of a personal connection with the Lord of the Rings trilogy for myself than the Odyssey. So when I watch the Odyssey, I'm going, this man is brilliant. He deserves an Oscar for whatever.
Yeah.
Because
just for the just for the effort of putting this thing together. You're like, dude, give that guy a prize for doing all this stuff.
See, and I'm the opposite, Wayne, because grew up on, not only obviously reading it in school, but also we're proud of Homer. We're proud of the Iliad. We're proud of the Odyssey and everything. And like I said, I took my elder aunt and uncle to Troy and 300 and all these movies and stuff. And I really was like, no, I know this story. How is he going to do it? And it was just delightful for me. Each scene, it's like, oh, he nailed that one. Yeah, he nailed that one. And it was just, it really was. It was great. I know.
You can't screw up a 3,000-year-old story. Then again, maybe you can.
Oh, yeah, you can. Sure you can.
Like I said, if Mel Brooks was in his prime, he could easily do a parody of this thing next year, and you'd be like, okay.
James says, my only two critiques were some of the editing felt kind of jarring, and some of the sound mixing gave me trouble hearing the dialogue. Okay. I didn't have a problem.
Dude, that sound was in your chest. It was like those grades when the drums would come by and you could feel it in your chest. Oh my God.
But he wanted you.
When they were the Cyclops.
Yeah, that's what he wanted, man. He wanted to immerse you in the
Yeah.
world and everything. And that's
Yeah.
why it's like, no, mission
The
accomplished.
floor was shaking, man. It was something else there, you know.
It was like I wasn't even in an IMAX theater where that's where
Mm.
it usually happens. And I was in just a regular big screen theater, and it just like that sound was amazing and just went right through you.
You know what though? I told Ordway on the way out, this poor guy, I feel bad for him because he's kind of painted himself in a corner because everything's on the epic level. You know what I'm saying? Every movie's just like huge scope, huge spectacle, whatever. He can't go do a quiet movie about two guys in a park playing chess anymore because it's expected
Well,
like, well, what's the next
let's see.
epic?
Yeah, but let's see what he does, because I would say while it's not a quiet little movie and it had some fantastic things in it, I would go back to The Prestige that
Yeah.
was about two magicians in the 19th century.
Oh, Memento. Go
Well,
back
yeah,
to
that's the
Memento.
first one.
First
yeah,
film.
yeah.
If you want to go to
Yeah.
like an indie side, his
Yeah, it's
real
up to
indie
him.
roots.
Up to him, up to the studio, what he wants to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, the guy's on a hell of a streak. Like I said, Dunkirk, Oppenheimer, and now this. You know,
In the Batman trilogy, yeah. You know, so.
Well, yeah, going back.
I
But,
wonder
yeah,
if he thinks about that now. It's kind of like, oh yeah, he's the Batman guy. Because like I joke about it because that's in my brain. I'm like, that's the guy that made those
Sure.
Batman movies. But
Sure.
it's kind of like, well, I've made art now. You know, that was the popcorn movie stuff I did. This is my artsy phase now. Stop bringing that up to me. It'd almost be like Kubrick. You don't go up to him and say, hey, remember Dr. Strangelove and all that weird old stuff you did? And like, yeah, I used to do that. Or John Williams, like, remember when you used to write the theme to Gilligan's Island and Lost in Space? He's like, yeah, but I'm an Oscar winner now. Yeah, but don't you remember Johnny Williams and the Castaways? I think that was their name on the Lost in Space or something, or maybe Gilligan's Island or whatever. But you know, you get your start. And then you move on, but you can't let go of where you came from, you know.
Well,
But
I mean, again,
will be interesting.
take the victory lap for the Odyssey, and we'll see what happens come Oscar time. But right now, I would say,
it'll win plenty of awards. I'm saying God
forbid get nominated up to Yin Yang.
Yeah, God forbid it
bombed.
If this had bombed, though, I was just like, oh God, what if? Because how much did it cost to make? It must have been 300 or 400 million. It had to be like that. Yeah.
Well, with all this practical effects, like wow.
Plus the cast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those people weren't doing it for free. I'll tell you one thing that was really odd was Anne Hathaway was doing this dialogue. I think she was talking to Tom Holland, and she starts screaming about. He comes and tells her to go get remarried or whatever because it's been 10 years and the kingdom needs a leader and all this stuff. And when she's screaming at him, and she's doing her acting, but the way she was moving, she was coming in and out of frame, and it was like she'd blur out and then come in focus and blur out. And I was surprised that happened. It always goes, it might be just the IMAX camera or something, the way that it's set up, it doesn't like adjust quickly like another camera. But it was like, wow, why is she out of focus? That's weird for this guy's, craftsmanship. That little thing, it's a minor thing. But
and in my theater, it wasn't like that because
mine was.
Yeah,
no, I noticed it. I was like, oh, she's out of frame. But was anybody not in the right movie? I mean, there's some people that you think, well, this guy.
No, like I said, I wasn't sure how I would react to Elliot Page and Lupita Nyong'o, and I can honestly say they were fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. I wouldn't have cast them. I will admit that. But that said, they were fine. They did great.
I love.
Go ahead.
I love the scene with the dead, with Elliot Page.
Oh yeah, that was great when they go to Hades.
The way, you didn't tell me what the plan was.
Robert Pattinson, he was doing the old-fashioned mustache twirl, and it was like,
I thought he was great.
I know he's great, but it reminded me of like the old movies when you'd see like Basil or whoever would always be the bad guy, James Mason or something.
Yeah, like,
and you knew he was
Vincent,
the bad guy just because of the way he looked. Like,
like Vincent Price and Edward G. Robinson in the Ten Commandments. Yeah,
he was just like Mr. Bad Guy. And Ordway said he was doing that on purpose, though. He was trying to get that. Yeah, but
that's his. I think that's his face and his eyes. He's got devious looking eyes.
Oh,
I think, and I think it just fit. I don't think he was. I didn't feel like he was over the top.
He was over the top. He wasn't over the top.
No, I didn't see he was over the top. No, he was. Again, he was a smarmy weasel, and other people to do the work, and then he can come in and take the credit.
Yeah.
Pete said he saw it in 70mm IMAX outside of Philly. happy people are excited about going to the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that an adult movie is
Yeah,
doing
that's
it.
true too.
Yeah.
Toy Story 5 is going to do fine. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
the Minions and Monsters is going to do fine.
Hmm.
So it's nice.
It was.
there's
It
an
wasn't.
adult
It
movie.
was. It wasn't doing that well. I found that out this weekend. It made.
Which
It
one?
made money. The Minions. It made money, but it's not as much as they thought it was going to
It's
be.
not tracking.
Or Minions as.
Minions. I like the Minions.
The Canadian pronunciation.
Well,
of
you know,
Minions.
the other problem is you got them on top of each other. These movies only have like a week to make money, and then the next big barrage comes in, and then the next one comes in. Like you said, Spider-Man.
Mitch, that's their fault.
2 weeks.
That's their fault.
That's
You know?
first we had the COVID, and you didn't have any movies for about a year or two. Like, what's going on? And then suddenly, too many movies, and then you're dealing with streaming, and it's like there's only so much that people could watch, and bang, it's on TV. I mean, this is not going to be on TV in 6 weeks. That's for damn sure. This will be
Probably
playing.
Supergirl.
Supergirl's
I know,
already
exactly.
coming on next week.
I know.
I mean, that's just a slap in the face, man. It's like, Jesus Christ.
What are you going to
June
do?
20
What are you going to
something.
do?
Well, they need to make their money back. I mean, I get it.
Of the two Sailing Across the Ocean movies out in theaters, this is easily better than Moana. Absolutely.
That's it. Now, that I heard did not do well. That I heard.
And Beta Ray Brad it says recently learned there was a scrapped World War II Captain America animated series in development. Now that was a show I would have loved to have seen. Yeah, me too. I would have liked to have seen more of Cap's adventures in World War II.
I knew there was a video game that they were working on with the Black Panther that was supposed to take place, but that got scrubbed or postponed. It was supposed to be out this fall, but that's a whole Marvel thing. That's a whole topic too, Johnny, because I had a panel planned with a certain editor in chief called "The Future of Marvel," and I'm like, I guess I'm changing that one. You know,
is he not coming?
He's coming, and he's being reassigned to a position out in Japan.
Oh no, I know that. I'm saying,
but I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna. I'm sure he's got it. It was 9 years.
Well, I almost wondered, Mitch, and again, I believe me, especially late in the game, if you were gonna have Steve Wacker come to the show, or if
he's more than welcome to come. You know, it's funny you mentioned that because last Sunday, Steve B wrote to me and said, "Oh, there's a Marvel exec that I want to bring to the show." And he didn't tell me who, and we were trying to get him a room, and I think I got a hotel room now because the price is through the roof. Maybe it's him. I don't know. I gotta ask CB who it was. Because I joked. I said, doesn't Marvel and Disney have enough money that they could pay $1,500 for a room at the Mohegan Sun? So,
well, I replayed, and for people that are watching this and haven't caught a late word balloon lately, I had a very in-depth conversation with Steve. Still the Spider-Man group editor at Marvel, and we talked about when he was at DC and was the editor for 52, and he did a lot of Spider events like Spider Island, things like that, and I really think it showed a sense of him as an individual book editor and a group editor, and I'm like, I know that this literally is a 14-year-old interview, but that said, I think it really is a good showcase. So if he does come to Terrificon, coming your way August 7th through the 9th at Mohegan Sun, order your tickets now. I wonder if he's going to get angry at me for replay. I mean, I don't care because, when somebody's suddenly news again, you do. This is what news stations do is, hey, we have an old interview. Here's the sense of the man.
Oh, please. How about when someone dies, they pull that out of the morgue? Hey, remember when this guy was on?
I do that. I've done it. My God. I did it.
Letterman does that all the time. He does this YouTube channel. Whenever somebody dies or in the news, they pull up the old clips or whatever. So yeah.
But I'm excited, and honestly, especially given because let's stick on Marvel and what's happening right now.
No, real quick though, before you stop the Odyssey, I got a quick question. Do you think this is going to spur Hollywood into making more of those epic movies like we used to watch when we were kids, like Ben-Hur?
Honestly, no.
No, they're not. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you.
There's been too many big budget movies that have failed. It's got to be the right guy. And based on really, I would say Oppenheimer is the closest other Nolan big budget multicast movie. But this, I don't know what other because we've seen and they've beat to death Romeo and Juliet. I'm thinking of some other classics.
I know, and there's only so many directors. Like, look, The Irishman was done by Scorsese. It was like 4 hours long. it wasn't a huge box office hit. But then again, it did come out right around the COVID time.
Yeah,
so
it
that's
wasn't, but it wasn't made for the box office. It was really made for
no, it
Netflix.
was TV. Yeah, and I'm thinking, who else could pull out? You got Peter Jackson, but I remember that 3-hour King Kong, and that was a sloth, man. My kids saw that. We were like, can we go home now? It was too much.
Yeah.
Too much self-indulgent. And then the other guy, Del Toro, he could do a really nice. He did it with that Frankenstein that just came out.
Yeah,
but
he
again,
did.
he's more of that gothic horror. He likes that vein, the
Mhm.
Hellboys and
Yep.
all that. But
Yep.
I don't see him breaking out tomorrow and doing a historical classic epic or something like. Why? You know what he would be good at? I mentioned Dante's Inferno, right there.
Oh,
no one's ever done a large scale production.
They want to.
And well, they were going to, because the guy Ryan Mind Nerding, he was at Terrificon, blah 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 blah, years ago, and I hosted his panel, and he had production drawings because he was supposed to be on a movie. I don't know who directed, but they were going to do Dante's Inferno with CGI and all that, and it got scrubbed. But he showed all the artwork of all the angels and demons and all that stuff that he had made. It was amazing, and you're like, geez, I wish they made this movie, because it was almost like Brazil. Remember that movie?
Of course.
It was years ago. Was it Terry Gilliam?
Yeah, Terry Gilliam.
A lot of exotic looks to it. And I was like, this would really be cool, because that's a strange story about this guy whose girlfriend or lover's dead, Beatrice, and he goes through the layers of hell to recover her soul, and you meet every level's a different disgusting sinner type. I don't know how it would play nowadays, but it'd be interesting.
Remember the Robin Williams movie, What Dreams May Come?
Yeah, I remember that. That was a cool one too, when he went in there and he went through all the. Wasn't that Gregory Hines with him too, or am I thinking somebody else? Who played the angel?
I can't remember if Gregory Hines was in it.
It was a very amazing spectacle. I saw that in the theaters, and I remember just.
But that wasn't a massive hit. That wasn't a massive hit.
No, it wasn't. No,
but that's what I'm saying. It's got to be the right formula, the right combination.
I think Dante's Inferno by Guillermo del Toro. I can't say his name.
But regarding Marvel and Wacker getting the new job, I just want to say, because again, the fact that, and I forget the guy's name, that is now the overlord under Feige, but the guy that's running film, animation, TV, and comics. That is basically Steve's new boss. And he comes from the non-comic side of Marvel. And it's good to have, as a new editor-in-chief to replace CB, a legit comic guy that has a proven track record. And I mean, all the creators are like, this is great. And I think they're all rooting for him. I know Bendis was the guy who told me about it this week.
Yeah,
he was the first guy to tell me.
I mean, and you don't want to be that guy, because God knows I've been a Marvel kid for 55 years now. And the thing of it is, they're struggling. I'm sorry, man. I go to that comic shop every Wednesday when the door opens, and I watch people come in, and I know anything with the word absolute above it will sell. Absolute Power Girl, absolute Mr. Mixopiddleick, anything that is gold. Okay. Then I look at the Marvel stuff, and they're trying with their stuff, and no one's picking it up, or they're dropping the book. Or the X-Men was a clear example. I was like, oh, this will be a great new relaunch. They're doing the X-Men again. It's almost like the new Crisis. Every year there's a new X-Men epic story, and it never seems to connect. It's like great build-up, great marketing. They promote it, and then after 2 or 3 tie-ins, it just falls. And I see the books just sit there, So.
We'll see this fall with the Midnight books.
The Midnight book looks good. I thought that was a good idea.
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple.
But I hope so, man. I hope
Philip
so.
Kennedy Johnson's doing Spider-Man. I forget who's doing X-Men. And I know there's a third book, and I can't remember who's doing that.
No, they've got great writers, and Bendis is coming back.
Of course it is.
It's so, I don't know why they're missing.
It's so funny. My buddy Sal Crivelli of Comic Pop, that YouTube channel, he and I were doing a show, and it was literally 2 days before the announcement. And Sal is much more of a Marvel guy than I am. And he's like, yeah, they don't have direction right now. And both of us are like, Stephanie Phillips is great. Ryan Norris is great. McKay is great.
Right.
Chip Zdarsky is great. Hickman is great. So they've got great writers. But yeah, they're just unlike DC, where there's the absolute line, and then there's the regular universe and the all-in current status. Well, everything is great. Everything is great. The new Batman is great.
I know it's bad when I go home and I realize and it's never ever happened in years, decades. I buy more DC books than I do Marvel. When I come home and I put my stack together to what I'm going to read, I go, oh my God, I have more DC than Marvel. Well, what happened here? That's never going to happen. But it's where we are right now, you know. So,
Brad Winderbaum is the guy that's above Steve and below Feige as far as running Marvel right now.
I think I was going to say I think the one thing Marvel's been doing with the books that's not helping is because they had the movies, they had the success. They tried to turn the books into the movies. They try to make the Iron Man, the Captain America. It's almost like, hey, if you like the movie, go read the comic. And that's not really what it's like. DC kept it. This is the comics world. That's the movie world. We didn't go change Batman overnight to look like Ben Affleck or have that costume or Man of Steel. We didn't do a Zack Snyder universe. We just stuck with the comics, where I think Marvel really did try, maybe because Disney bought them and that was a director from higher up. They were like,
I think it was
meld these two.
Yeah, they wanted the synergy.
The other day, why is there a Ratatouille Fantastic Four cover? Why is there a Daffy Duck cover? And somebody told me, oh, that comes from the top. Disney goes, put Donald Duck on a Spider-Man cover. Yeah. Put Goofy on a Fantastic Four. Why? Because we want to do a collab. The new word now, collab. They want to like tie in.
Don't forget that DC did it with the Warner Brothers characters and the Hanna-Barbera characters.
But you know what was different with that? When they wrote those stories, like Elmer Fudd meets Batman, and they had Chaykin on what was the dog's name?
Rough and Ready.
Right. Those were good stories. They were not adult like hardcore, but they were written very smartly, if that's the thing.
Yeah.
Where the Marvel one, all they did was take the Marvel origin of Iron Man and put Donald Duck in it. And they took the origin of Spider-Man and put Goofy in it. It was the same story, except when they got these funny animals in it. And you're like, what the hell are you doing here? You know, it's like
they didn't tell like a crime noir with the Elmer Fudd.
No, it's
with
like
Batman. That was great how they did that, including Silver St. Cloud into it.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo years ago when Keith Giffen was alive, God rest his soul, he wrote like the Scooby-Doo Apocalypse. It's a freaking Scooby-Doo cartoon, but you made it like his own thing, and it was good. So I don't know what the hell's going on over there. I'm like, guys, just stop.
Again,
too many cooks.
They've rattled the cage, and now we got Steve in charge. And I think Steve is much like Marie Javins at DC is a guy, because again, he said it in my interview. He's like, I get out of the way of the creators. Now, I don't know what kind of marching orders he's going to get above him, and that will likely be a factor. But I think if anyone can negotiate the comic side and the other media sides of Marvel, it's Steve, because he worked in animation for a long time and the good animated shows that were on Disney XD. And he worked on even the audio dramas like Marvels and Old Man Star-Lord.
Those were great. Yeah. Oh, he was involved with those, because I listened to all those. Those were fantastic.
He was the vice president in charge of new media, and that was all that stuff. Yeah. No, Steve's and also for the last couple of years, he's been working with Hickman on those 3 Worlds, 3 Moons sci-fi stuff that he was putting out through Substack that is now coming out from Dark Horse. And so he was the editor of all that stuff. And the last time I saw him, he was repping Hickman's sci-fi books.
Well, I wish him best of luck, and I hope he changes it around, because like I said, there's nothing sadder than going into the comic store and seeing these people, these characters you've grown up with, and just seeing the ho-hum reaction from people like, yeah, I'm not reading that. And they just put it on the show. Oh, Absolute Batman. Oh, Absolute Cat. And they're grabbing it like it's candy. Yeah. I'm like, come on, man. What are we doing here?
No. Jeremy's right. When Mark Russell took over the Flintstones with Steve Pugh, they updated it and made it for the times. Sam Humphries did Bugs Bunny and the Legion of Superheroes.
Yes.
Superboy. Yeah. And it was a funny romance comic. It was a parody of romance comics and stuff.
I got that Flintstones book right there on the shelf, the hardcover collection. That was a great story there.
Yeah.
So it can be done. I mean, even Dynamite Comics is having success with all those Hanna-Barbera. You got your Space Ghost, you got your Herculoids, you got freaking everything you can imagine. I'm surprised Hong Kong Fooey's not back, but every time. Thundar's huge right now.
Right.
I'm like, great.
Mad Cave is doing it with
Flash Gordon and all that, and Dick Tracy. Who knew that these characters have been around forever could actually be interesting? Like, you actually buy the books, because I would never bought a Dick Tracy.
Well, you see, I would say that again. The reason why that comic strip endured for a long time is they had great people making it. You know, Joe Staten and
Joe
Jake,
Staten.
or not Jake,
Max Allen Collins.
Max Collins.
Yeah,
Max Collins.
yeah.
Don't forget the Phantom.
Yes. Hey, I love the Phantom.
Yeah, the Dynamite's got the Phantom, I think, again, right?
No, Mad Cave.
Mad Cave. Oh, okay. All right. I never got into them. I mean, I've watched the movie, and I don't know.
Well, and also they lean more because he is a jungle character.
It's like a Tarzan. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
It's huge in Australia, though. Huge.
Yeah.
My friend from Australia.
And Scandinavia, too. The Scandinavian countries, it does very well.
He predated Superman and Batman.
Matt says regarding Marvel, there's no real main book in Marvel that's been the focal point of the universe, like Bendis doing the new Avengers 20 years ago.
True.
Everything is very separate, and they make an event on whatever book is popular at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, they had the Imperial science fiction or Marvel cosmic story that Hickman set up, and they cut it short.
Yeah.
And then also when they brought back the Ultimate line with Hickman and Dennis Camp, and they cut that short. And it's like,
I don't know what happened with that. That was amazing. It launched just like
good.
Absolute. The Spider-Man one was great. Then they had that thing. Then Peach Momoko did an X-Men one, and then it just fell apart. And now it's coming to an end. They're like, yeah, it's done.
Well, because they are the first ones that crunch numbers. And I remember years ago, Rick Remender was going to do Dr. Voodoo, Brother Voodoo, as the Dr. Voodoo. Yeah. And it was going to be 12 issues. And the second issue's sales were so bad, they cut it off at 5. And that's been classic Marvel for the last 15 or so years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, But anyway.
That's we'll see what happens.
Back to other media. X-Men 97, I watched the latest episode.
I did too, yeah.
It was great. X Factor, Wolverine's team.
Yep.
X Team.
What do you mean?
Not X Factor.
Oh, excuse me.
X-Force.
X-Force?
Not X-Force.
X-Team?
X-Team.
Okay.
I watched the Apocalypse one. I think I watched the first 3 or 4. So that's where it ended. Well, they were traveling through time, so I'm not up to date.
Well, the fifth one dropped this past week.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's good. No, it's been great. You weren't here were you here last week or no?
No, I was in Boston last week.
Okay. Yeah, we talked about the first 4 last week. But no, so you're enjoying it so far, Mitch?
Yeah. No, I really like it. I like it. It's because I read all the Claremont stuff back then, so it's just like, oh yeah, like they're pulling this from there, and the Forge. Well, a lot of stuff I forgot about. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Like Nolan having superhero stars in the Odyssey, this is filled with Star Trek people as far as doing the voices. And you got Michael Dorn, and you got John Delancey, and you got Beverly Crusher is Gates McFadden is the old lady Oracle and everything.
I thought I heard Delancey's voice. I was like, is that Q?
Delancey's Kang.
Yes.
I like
it's really good.
Mortis, depending on which, or Ramatut.
Oh, Ramatut.
Well, he was Ramatut. Exactly. He was Ramatut. So we'll see. I know I was telling someone who didn't know about Immortus as well. And that's why I understood dropping Jonathan Majors when he had his personal issues and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that said, I'm like, you could have stuck with the story.
Why couldn't you just recast it? Yeah, I never understand that. Yeah.
And
when
again,
it came out, he had a different voice and everything. It was like, I don't know what the hell the dialogue was, but it was enough to be a different actor. I mean,
if you remember in The Matrix, when the original Oracle died, and they cast the other woman to be the Matrix in the third movie.
Oh, geez, when Dumbledore died.
Dumbledore died, they replaced
Richard Harris.
Richard Harris died.
Michael Gambon. Yeah. Yep.
I don't get that. I mean, they recast Terrence Howard to Don Cheadle. Well, they recast Bruce Banner from Edward Norton to Ruffalo.
But they even could have shifted it from Kang to Immortus and gone and like, I used to be Kang. Now I'm Immortus. I mean, it's already there in the comics.
The only thing I could think of is maybe as a contractual thing because he played the character and they're like, but again, they're making the rules. They can do whatever the hell they want.
They can do what they want.
No idea what happened there, but they fired the guy, the drop of a hat. Once they get that guilty charge or whatever, boom, he was out the door. you know?
I hope. It's funny because there's been rumors of what Doomsday is going to be,
Yeah.
and also Secret Wars, and I hope there's enough of an ending to Doomsday to satisfy us for a year, because the
Yeah.
length of time that has gone on for the next Spider-Man Spider-Verse cartoon is ridiculous.
Oh.
And how about the Batman announcement with Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves?
Oh, please.
That
yeah.
Jesus
People forget.
Christ.
I don't understand that. I go, dude, people forget. I know we like that stuff and we're all do it, but you got to remember, years are going by. Kids are growing up. You like Batman when you were 12. Now you're 19 or 20. You're onto other things. You don't give a crap. You're not going back. We'll go back because we're old farts. But yeah, that Spider-Verse movie, loved it. Loved the second one. And then as soon as to be continued. Okay, when next year? No. Well, the year after? No. The year after that? No. Maybe 2027. Maybe. What are you doing, man? I know it'll make money, but Jesus, how much money have you lost? Because
just again,
forgot,
to end the movie on a cliffhanger and make you wait several years. Batman's bad enough. I mean, it ended obviously, and we're going to get a new story.
Right.
But I'm also excited for in August, Cape Crusader.
Oh,
well,
Cape
Clayface, sure, but the animated Amazon Cape Crusader. And I was talking to Rucka, and he's got another script that he did. Also, let's talk about My Adventures. My Adventures with Superman. God, I love this season. I caught up, and man, it is great. The Hank Henshaw stuff is great. Supergirl is great, and all that time travel that's going on with John Kent showing up. Man, I Mitchell,
I am. No, I watched it because our good boy from Star Trek, Lower Decks, Jack Quaid.
Yeah, Jack Quaid.
And the boys. So
yes, of course.
No, I like it a lot.
I do too. Although it really is. I mean, obviously the animation being anime speaks for itself, but it has that anime pacing as well.
Oh yeah,
that is kind of manic. It's always very manic, But I don't mind it. And the story. Oh, and I noticed that not this week's episode, but the Death of Superman episode from last week was written by Marguerite Bennett. I noticed, and that was kind of cool. And I hadn't noticed if she had been doing other animation, but that I'm like, wait a minute, I know Marguerite Bennett. She's a great comic book writer. That's cool that she wrote this. So, but no, I've really enjoyed it. So that's really been great as well. I know. I feel bad. This guy said about last week's show, he's like, well, you guys really didn't talk much about X-Men 97. I'm like, we spent a half hour talking about X-Men.
No, I didn't see it
last week. And also, mostly we're just saying it's good. I'm sorry that we don't have.
Yeah, it's just I can't figure out where the stories are coming from, and that's okay. I just I remember that character. I remember that character when I was reading it.
It brings the brain cells back. I go, I remember that. Forge. I remember Forge. And hey, there's Bishop. Yeah, it's all coming back to me now.
In Superman, I like the new future that John finds himself in. And obviously, I would assume that, especially the way this week's episode ended with them falling through a portal or whatever, I'm assuming they're going to the future and having to deal with it. And also, I like that Clark doesn't have his powers right now. And I think that's really cool. It's so
the writers are just having it's exciting and it's refreshing to watch. It's like going back to the early days of Bruce Timm.
Yeah,
where you're dealing with the Superman series. Let's go back to that Superman series that Tim started or was part of. Again, the Batman animated series, like it's bringing the characters and writing them. They've been updated to what is today. What would be the characters be like today with all the views and the clicks and Jimmy is what is it, Rockin' Robin or some silly
Flamebird.
Flamebird. Yeah, Flamebird from Nightwing
from Nightwing and Flamebird.
Yeah. So and it's just it's really good how they can update these characters that we've known for decades and have fun with them and make a fun, watchable TV show. And
one that will relate to kids and has that pacing of anime that they love.
But
there's enough story of things that
Mhm.
we remember, so it's intriguing us. Go ahead, Mitch. Excuse
No,
me.
I was going to say I got yelled at this. Well, I didn't get yelled. A heated discussion came up in the comic shop this week because somebody walked in and said, "Oh, what did you think of Supergirl?" I said, "Well, I can give you two opinions. I can give you the comic book nerd who watched it and said, okay, I liked it. I like Tom King's book. I saw what parts they pulled from that story. I don't agree with the ending. I think it should have been a little different with that." And then the business side of me kicked in, the Warner exec, because I walked into a Walmart the other day and I saw the Supergirl toys were already, that I bought some over here, but they're already discounted because we got to get this shit off the shelves, And then I noticed that, you know what little golden books are? Do you remember those books?
Oh,
They're
yeah.
the little Pokey the puppy and all that stuff. Well, there was a Supergirl little golden book, and there she is smiling on the cover. And then I noticed they had like a whole floor stand in the middle of the aisles there with all these like Barbie Supergirl dolls and these big like 2-foot Supergirl dress them up dolls like for little girls or such. And the thing of it is, I'm like, I could just be a fly on the wall at Warner Brothers. It reminded me of the Batman Returns McDonald's fiasco back in the early 90s. They're like, hey, we got a Supergirl movie. This is our chance to capture that market. We want the young girls and stuff, like the Disney princesses. We're gonna make $1 million on this thing. Wait till the kids see this Supergirl movie. And there she is puking her brains out, taking a leak with the door open, and she kills a guy at the end. I'm like, oh shit, this is not the Supergirl. So when I said that, I go, you should, and I've heard some other writers say this. I don't know if it was Grant Morrison or somebody smarter than me. You should always be able to go to a Superman movie. A 5 or 6 year old kid should go to a Superman movie. And I think that goes with Supergirl too. You should make this just like the Adventures of Superman. This is a good Superman that you could watch if you're a little kid, like the Adventures of Superman, where the adult can enjoy it, the teenagers can enjoy it, early 20s, whatever they call them now. And even 9 and 10-year-old kids could watch this without being worried about it. And I'm like, he goes, what's the matter? You don't like a rated R Supergirl? You don't like that? I go, you know what? I do not. Okay. I don't think, maybe in a comic book, that's fine, or a graphic novel, that's fine. But when you're doing these broad entertainment things that's supposed to appeal to a mass audience, and you're trying to make money, because I know that people hate saying that, but at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. And when I saw this merchandise going down the toilet, somebody's going to be losing a job over there right about now. And it's not James Gunn, because I know, oh, well, James Gunn's a movie maker. That's fine. But there's somebody out there that let this thing go through knowing that it's going to be more of an adult story. But I'm like, I don't know if you want, like the Batman with Robert Pattinson. That's a dark Batman. For God's sakes, he's taping people up. He's hitting them over the head with a claw hammer. I don't think it was rated R, but it could have been rated R easily because it's really dark. I mean,
but that suits the character.
But then you've got the whole world that grew up with the Batman animated show, the Adam West show, the Justice League, the Super Friends. I don't envy DC, man, because what are they going to do?
We were saying the same thing about Supergirl last week, and in fact, what Beta Ray Brad said. No, it's all right.
I didn't see the show, so what did you guys talk about?
I understand, but if I may, Brad is saying the same thing, and this is what I said as well. The CW Supergirl. One of my favorite images was of Melissa Benoist surrounded by either Girl Scouts or Campfire Girls.
Yeah,
they all have their fists up in the air, and it's like, but I mean, and I didn't even mind Party Girl, Supergirl drinking and all that. I understand. What I had a bigger problem with, though, if I may, what I had a bigger problem with was the white, like not alien slave women thing. It's like trying to explain that to a 7-year-old.
I said that too. I said, what's up with the white slave trade going on? What's going on here, kids?
Yeah.
See, I think they forget. Stupid. I think they forget what Superman and the Superman family. If you want the prototype, the blueprint, the original Superman 77. Go back to the Donner film. That Donner film made you believe in the character. That was such, because everyone loved Batman because he's grim and gritty, and whether or not he's the goofy Batman from the 60s and the 50s, or in the 70s, he was grim and gritty. Everyone loved Batman no matter what. Try to make Superman lovable because he's such a Boy Scout. And that movie made you love Superman. Yeah. Made you believe that, again, using their taglines, you will believe that a man could fly.
Not that stalker Superman from that Superman Returns movie.
Superman
Yeah,
Returns.
my cop
Yeah.
buddies go, so let me get this straight. Superman's a deadbeat dad who took off on Lois after he date raped her, so she couldn't remember that he impregnated her, gave her a kid, ran off, comes back 5 years, and now he's stalking her and watching her with her husband. And he goes, what the hell? Who thought this was a good idea? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh, it's a creepy Superman when you look at it. I go, I didn't look at it like that, but once you point that out, I can never unsee Brendan Routh flying outside our house.
But you take the helicopter scene in Superman,
where
he rescues Lois and he says, "Oh, but Lois, or no, but Miss Lane, flying is still the safest mode of transportation."
Yeah.
And again, it's just this is who the character is. This is who the character has always been. Once you stray from that, you're going to lose a good chunk of the audience.
That was the failure of the Snyderverse. They made Superman dark, and it's like, no, Batman is dark, Superman is light.
Right.
It's a contrast.
Right.
I mean, it's so obvious. And again, and that's why if you want some Fall Guys, Mitch, for Supergirl, it's the director and the screenwriter. Sorry, they
okay, there it goes, because everyone kept saying James Gunn. I go, no, James Gunn is like up here. He's not like on the day-to-day,
But he is in charge, and as I understand it, and I haven't really read up to make sure this is the case or not. His contract might need to be renewed next year.
I've
Luckily,
heard that.
Man of Tomorrow is happening next year, and we've got the Ellisons coming in, and they might want to make a change. We don't know. And despite the fact that there are several states that are trying to block the Paramount takeover of Warner Brothers, it's going to pass, everybody.
Yeah.
It sucks that we're going to have another smaller group of studios making these. By the way, great series on Netflix that is going away the first week in August. I think August 4th is the last time you could see it. There's a series called Titans. Sorry, that's my camera. I was warning everybody that
I thought you were really liking the show, John. You just came right in.
Yes, we're here.
What is it called,
anyway,
John?
Guilty.
Anyway, Titans. It's the beginning of Hollywood, and it really literally goes from Edison to the 30s, and it really covers the silent era. It's 5 episodes. It's not the greatest acting. It's not a docudrama like some of these newer shows where there's a bit of talking head narration. Well, there is one. The guy that plays Adolf Zukor, who is the Paramount executive, he's the narrator of the film, that character. But it literally is all the people that started. It's the Warner Brothers. It's Louis B. Mayer at MGM, and it's
it's their real names.
William
it's not
Fox.
I said it's the real names. They're playing real people.
Oh yeah. Oh no. It's the real. It's. I mean, I'm sure there's some dramatic license going on.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Because there was a movie years ago called Did you ever see the movie called the Dream Merchants or the Dream Makers?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I have. It was kind of like This Is Hollywood, but it wasn't like they didn't use everyone's name, if I recall.
No,
it was just alluded to.
It was a mini series, and Mark Harmon was in it, and Vincent Gardenia was in it, and Robert Picardo was in it.
Oh,
from
I
Star
don't remember
Trek.
all everybody.
I
remember
Morgan
watching
Fairchild.
it.
Oh, I love it, and it's on YouTube. People can find it on YouTube. And Howard Duff was one of the jerks that was.
Wow, it's like Flamingo Road's entire cast was in this thing, huh?
I love Flamingo Road.
Flamingo Road was
hot. Stevens. Yep,
dude. Oh my God, that's right. Yeah,
but that's fun. The Dream Merchants is fun, but this Titans thing, it's really well made, and I burned right through it in 5 episodes. It's really, really good, and they have other kind of like those Icon series that is more documentarian in terms of like James Bond and Star Wars and Marvel and everything. Those series that are on, a lot of those are on Amazon Prime. So they've got they've got Titans, and it's the Wall Street founders and other circles of influence. But the Hollywood one was amazing. So
I will put it on my list of 1,000 shows because I tried. I mean, it's insane. It's like being schizoid. I tried watching Red Star. What's the Russian?
Star
Star
City.
City.
Star City. So I'm watching Star City, listening to the William Goldman audio book about movie making from the 80s, reading 1,000 different comic books, trying to organize a convention in 3 weeks that's going to cost me more than $500,000. Going seeing the Spartacus, doing a podcast with you tonight, doing 2 more this week. And it's like insane trying to keep track of everything. And what am I going to do now? Well, I'm going to go watch Titans tonight. Oh, 3 a.m. My wife was like, what?
It's great, man. It's great.
I don't.
Sorry.
I don't want to. Beta Ray Brad asked the question. Still waiting for a Madman like comic company show. Now, it's not a show, but I would recommend Hey Kids Comics.
Oh, Howard Chaykin's comic.
Howard Chaykin's book. It is fun.
We won't talk about this, but years ago, I think it was Chaykin, or I said it on some podcast. I go, why can't they do a Madman like TV show, or they show, Cavalier and Clay type of thing, and show the behind the scenes of the DC, the Marvel in New York City. Now that they're moving out of New York City, it's more poignant. But back in the day, when here's Stan over there doing everything, and hiring Jack Kirby, who hated his guts, and trying to get it. There's Steve Ditko, the guy who's into like new wave thinking, and then Roy comes in with the hippies crowd and Starlin. This is a freaking epic waiting to happen. I know I'd watch it every week. And then meanwhile, you go down the street and you got your Mort Weisingers and all your World War II old crews over there like, this is the way we did it. And put more gorillas on the cover. The kids love the monkeys on the cover. And then meanwhile, you go down the street and who's tripping out on acid, right? And fucking Captain Marvel, whatever the hell it is. She's Adam Warlock. I'd watch that in a heartbeat, man.
I thought Cavalier and Clay was in development. I don't know
for
what
a
happened.
while.
Well,
for a long time.
Again, I mean, it's not. But I'm saying that idea is not coming out of the blue, and especially given Chabon's success, I'm surprised that it hasn't. And as if anything, being akin to the superhero movie, grand period of 2008 to 2018. And by the way, that's another thing. I like people who are like, oh, the superhero movie's dead. It's dead. No, it's not dead. It will continue. And I mean, I was making comparisons when the 2008 period, 2013, the Wolverine movie, the first Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie, Scott Pilgrim versus the universe. Yeah. Those didn't do that well. And everyone's like, oh, it's dead. It's dead. Superhero, comic book movies are dead. And it's like, no. They're never going to go away. It's like the Western. This was the zenith, and 2018 was the zenith, I think, obviously. And I think most people agree with that.
Oh, yeah. When Endgame came out, that was like the high point. And then you look back, you go, Jesus Christ. I remember my friend who was into comics, he went to see that, and he watched all the Marvels. He goes, holy crap. And he's like, what? He goes, because the fact that they pulled in so many elements from the previous 20-something movies, and they all paid off. Like, hey, remember when we made Peggy Carter like Captain America? And like every little detail, everything came full circle, and it was like a 3-hour epic movie in this. And he goes, will they ever top this? And I go, they ain't never going to top this. And sure enough, here we are, almost 8-7 years later, they're still chasing it. And Doomsday, that'll relaunch it. And they're finally going to do what they should have done at the end of Endgame, I think. Just relaunch the whole thing with new actors, because it's like, what were you thinking?
I assume Secret Wars is going to be whoever's left from Doomsday, and we might see a new Captain America meet Chris Evans or whatever. Maybe not. I don't know. But I assume Secret Wars is going to introduce. I know they're going to introduce a lot of the new X-Men. It's not guaranteed. I mean, Liefeld's been, he's the merry prankster when it comes to Marvel, and is happy to tell you how they're going to fail and stuff. Well, Dark Phoenix obviously didn't do as well as the original trilogy for X-Men when they were trying to recast various people and things. And so, no, it's not a guarantee when they decide to recast things. But they're never going to go away, is my point.
No. Westerns always be. You know what? Hell, you watch the Odyssey. That's just a big comic book. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but there's a guy, epic. He goes out, fights monsters, and there's a big battle at the end with swords and arrows. And I'm like, it's the freaking Excalibur.
Sure it is. It's all the same. Comic books have always borrowed from mythology, of course.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and that's why I said it's Greek Lord of the Rings. Yeah. When you go right down to it, that's basically what it is. There is some Star Trek news because, of course, Strange New World's coming back on Thursday, and I keep seeing new trailers and various things, and also some news about casting. And first of all, I was complaining to Wayne before we started that James Frain, they're saying, is going to come back in some fashion as Sarek. They haven't said in what capacity. He might be on the next season of Starfleet Academy, in a archival film or hologram sort of presentation. We don't know, but I hope it's not Strange New Worlds. And also, I'm sure you guys saw the news too that hey, David Marcus is coming back, and he's going to be a baby. And yeah, they're gonna have David Marcus on Strange New Worlds, and it's like, oh, F you, God, stop it, Jesus, they cannot help themselves. And I know Wayne is the smartest one as far as when it comes to Strange New Worlds, where he's like, it's not the same, it's a different universe, and that's how I stay sane. But of course, they lie and are like, oh no, there's a way we can do this. There's a way we can do. F you. We don't care. You're not clever. Yeah, there's the Klingon. No,
I might have been sleeping. Did they mention Carol Marcus already on Strange New Worlds?
They did mention her. Yes,
they did mention her
in the La'an Kirk time travel thing. When they're in Toronto, he says, "I'm actually I've got to I'm involved." Okay, and she had a baby on the way. If I remember correctly.
I don't remember that. No.
But regardless, it's like, no, the point, I mean, that's the great thing about the Khan movie was Data didn't know that Kirk was his father. He just knew that he was that Boy Scout that his mother used to date and hated Starfleet because of the way they were screwing with his experiments and stuff. And it's like, no, that's better. Stop it. And I realize he'll probably be a baby or a toddler and whatever, and I'm sure again, we figured out a way. No, you didn't figure out a way.
Wait.
You're cheap jerks that can't write original stories.
Did he not know that Kirk was his? Only at the end he goes, "I'm proud, very proud to be your son." Okay, because a couple times when he came in, I remember he was fighting with him. He's like, "Oh, it's typical Starfleet. They're coming in." She goes, "Oh, you would never do that." So she didn't tell him then. I was just like, "When never told him?"
And also that conversation that he has with Carol. And says, I did what you asked. I stayed away.
Right.
And it's like, because she didn't want him to know. She didn't want David to know that Jim was his father. Because he's like, well, no, I didn't want my son following in his father's footsteps, much like the Odyssey, back to comic book movies.
Yeah.
And but no. And again, it's like, stop messing with canon. You've got interesting characters potentially on Strange New Worlds. But no, it's like, hey, no, let's mess with this more. And it's like, you're not clever. You're jerks. I remember Frank Miller before he brought Elektra back, and he drew that parody panel of the corpse of Elektra and the way Marvel kept bringing her back and everything. And he's just like, stop it. Don't do that. And it's like, leave my character alone. She's dead for a reason. Until he did Elektra Lives, but that's his character. I'll accept that. I mean, if we could resurrect Harv Bennett, who produced the original series, original cast Star Trek movies, and he wants to do stuff, maybe. But again, with the original cast, these guys suck.
The Elsewhere book by John Byrne that has a Jean Grey in it. That's kind of like the story that they were going to do with the Dark Phoenix, where they didn't kill her or she didn't kill herself. And they lobotomized her, and she's living with her family, and she's, that's the only way they could figure out how to suppress the Dark Phoenix energy was to like make her not know who she is or her powers. That's in the Elsewhere book, and it's a really good book. But I'm thinking that when we get Chris Claremont at Terrificon, Connecticut's Terrific Comic Con, you almost want to ask him at this point in his career, because it's been 40 years or so like that. Was he mad that they brought back Jean Grey, because he's used the character as well, but it's almost like no one dies in comics, except for Uncle Ben. Even Bucky came back. But sometimes you sit there and you go, man, just walk away. I know Elektra came back, but I know it's all, again, I hear him. It's all about
I think money. Jean holds the record for resurrections.
I mean, Jesus, God, they brought her daughter back. They brought her back. They had Madeline Pryor. It's like, my God, walk away, man.
Yeah.
Walk away. It's almost like the DC universe redoing itself every couple of years. It's like, just leave it alone for about 10 years, will you? You don't need a
Well-
crisis every 3 years or every year, man. So
Well, anyway, more Star Trek news. There is a
Yeah.
new character on Strange New Worlds. I don't know her name, but we got a new
Ooh.
Vulcan female officer.
is it
And
T'Pol?
I don't think it's T'Pol, but I believe in the trailers we see her kiss Scotty. So make of that what you will.
I saw
But
that.
also one more character is coming back. It's everybody's favorite from 4.5 Vulcans, ladies and gentlemen. It's
Yeah.
Doug. Yay! Yay! The dumbest GD character. I guys, again, I don't want us to have the fight again, but honestly, it just was not a funny episode. And we learned our lesson from season 3. No, you really didn't, because you wrote and produced season 4 before the audience reacted to season 3.
I was
So,
hoping
they're
Hemner
horrible.
would come back, like a combination of him and a Gorn, because they evolve and stuff. I was really hoping that they would get
Well,
back to that story.
I think I Horrick, who played Hemner,
Yeah,
because it's a mask and he's blind.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think it was messing with him, and I think that's an assumption on my
well,
part.
recast him. I'm sorry, recast the
No,
character.
it was-
you know.
It was an interesting character, and again, it shows you that these guys do not know what they're doing. I'm sorry, they gotta. I keep saying it. I know they gotta go. They gotta go, and they,
Well, they are
probably
going, aren't they? Didn't you already say
I believe. I would.
Yeah.
Well, as others have pointed out, they're never going to say Alex Kurtzman and company were fired. Their contracts aren't going to be renewed. That's how. It's
No,
gonna happen.
no. There was a gentleman, I can't say his name, but I just found out they had a huge retirement party for him. And I was talking to my buddy. I go, wow, I can't believe so-and-so retired after all those years. I go, he got fired. I go, no, they had a big going. He goes, yeah, that was the public PR they put out there. Like, oh, he's going to go on to other things, and we wish him all the luck. And we had a big retirement, and we, look what he's built. But in reality, they got the guy out the door. I was like, oh. Did not know that.
Well, and really back to Marvel, I'm happy for CB because he's doing what he does best, and that is talent scouting around the world. And I know he's going to be based in Japan. He loves Japan, and that's great. That's great. And he doesn't have the burden of being editor-in-chief anymore, and he had a long run. And sometimes it is time for a creative change. So this is okay,
Yeah,
And I
he
will
was the
shake his
third,
hand and congratulate him.
the third longest editor-in-chief they had in Marvel
Yep.
history. 9 years. Yeah.
I'm hip.
Not an easy job.
We were Wayne and I were talking. I'm loving still Rick and Morty. I think every episode has been great this year. I like it.
You will meet them. The cast will be there. I just approved Spencer Grammer's flight tonight.
Oh, lovely.
She's the
Summer.
daughter of Kelsey Grammer, who's the voice of what character, Wayne?
Summer.
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 She will be at Terrificon, Connecticut.
And Rick and Morty will be there as well.
And Rick and Morty will be there. And Maurice LaMarche, who's Pinky the Brain, but he also plays Abraham Hitler. Is that a character on that show? Or it looks like a combo of Hitler and
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a combo.
Yeah.
Lincoln?
Yeah.
Oh, he's there.
No, it's no, and Rob Paulson even does an occasional
Oh, okay. Well,
character voice. He was on. They brought back from the first season. Morty's dog becomes super intelligent and goes to a different dimension where he is the ruler of a dog society, and humans are treated as pets. And Rob Paulson plays Morty's dog and everything. And that was a funny episode. That was the most recent
there
one.
you go.
There's a new one tonight, of course, but as we're recording on Sunday evening before the new one airs. But let's
More
see here.
reasons why you should come to Connecticut in 3 weeks. Not only because Suntress will be there, and I'll be there, and Franco hopefully will be there. And we don't know what Wayne's doing anymore because he's on the run from the.
He's going to go to Star Trek Vegas.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
We understand.
He has to go get Jonathan Frakes' autograph for the 80th time.
Starfleet Academy cast is going to be there.
Oh, God. Well, that's not like they're doing anything.
Exactly. I want to go see them.
You know what? Paul Giamatti will be there. So you're going to see Paul?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'll see Paul and say, "Hey,
yeah, he knows.
You messed up. You messed up with my friend Mitch. You know what's going to happen to you? You're going to be sleeping with the Fitches because you're not with the Mitches."
You tell him, you say, Giamatti, you screwed up. You could have stayed home in Connecticut, gone over to Terrificon, met people, hung out, got Pepe's Pizza. That's his favorite pizza. They actually have a pizza named after
We
him.
get some pizza for you.
And then gone back. He knows me. Tell him, call me. We hung out at the same bookstores in the 80s.
This is the one, and we might still get it this season. We'll see. But this is the one callback that they teased that they never went back to in Strange New Worlds. JD says, remember the scene where we see Spock's brother is in prison?
Yeah.
They never followed up on that story. No, they didn't.
That ain't coming.
Not, at least not so far. I know the list of I know the list of episodes. Are you looking it up?
Yeah,
Wade?
I had those. Just give me a minute.
Dude, I'm still waiting for those worm things to come back from Next Generation's last episode for season 1.
All right.
I love that one.
Okay, July 23rd, Vallis Morenis.
Right. That's the Mars episode.
The 30th, the Griffin incident.
Griffin?
August 6th, human best friend. 13th, a case of the Chirioso.
Yeah,
That's
we got the
probably
Canadian pronouncing thing, so we're already.
I know.
That's probably the Muppet episode, right?
Yeah, probably.
Who knows?
No, I think it's this one. On the 20th, the level 5 transporter accident.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's gonna be a transporter accident. It's gonna turn them into a puppet.
Then off hour, like Chronicons through the hourglass. So
These are the
is
days
the
of our life.
days
Oh, it's a
of
soap
Exactly.
opera.
That's gonna be the soap opera parody.
Oh, Jesus.
Sure.
I thought they only have one gimmick show a year.
No.
No.
Oh
they
no!
love their
Wait,
gimmicks.
I'm not done yet. Oh, wait for it, boys. Orders of Magnitude, which is probably a real episode, but
Yeah.
the last one for the season. Once lawn a time.
Yeah, I bet if anyone's gonna die on that show, it's probably gonna be
it's her.
Lon.
Oh, God, yeah.
But also, I don't know what they're going to do for the 60th, and maybe that's when James Frame is going to come back as Sarek. But man, and much like Doctor Who wasting their, in their case, not giving us the Christmas episode.
No.
Although I did want to mention, I have every intention of talking to Titan Comics and getting, and I'm forgetting right now who's writing the Circuit Breaker comic book story. And that's interesting because it's an event that's happening without an episode, a television episode, and it's about the Fugitive Doctor. And as much as I've not liked the Chibnall era and Russell Davies' second era, I do appreciate the idea of the Fugitive Doctor. I don't like that she's before William Hartnell. I think that was going too far. But I've liked her scenes, and I'm okay with them continuing that story. And we'll see what happens. I mean, again, I don't understand how the show is being obviously sent out, as they say, they put out the show for tender, meaning they're having other production houses bid on the show to produce new Doctor Who. But BBC Studios is also in the running. And it's like, isn't that like being a suit of clothes? And the parent wants to let the sport coat know that we still want to be together. And it's like, well, I mean, I understand potentially taking other production companies and seeing whatever, seeing how much they're willing to spend on the show. But it's like, well, if you're willing to spend, do it yourself in-house, why wouldn't you keep all the money? But again, maybe licensing it is more profitable for them and they don't have the expense of making
But that's what the streamers have found out, that licensing the properties is more profitable.
You're right. You are right. That's Sony. That's Sony not having a streamer, but basically making shows for every other streamer.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The Doctor Who book is written by Dan Waters.
That's
and
right.
Ilsa Montoya. Montoya.
But yeah, I got the first issue. Titan sent out the first issue for the press. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I'll be honest, I am curious. And I mean, that's the thing, like during the previous Wilderness years with Doctor Who, there were good stories coming out of the comics and in the paperbacks and stuff. So we'll see. That's really I'm trying to think of anything else.
I was gonna say I watched the Larry David thing. It's cute, but it's not great. It's kind of a struggle sometimes.
it grew on me because the first episode, I'm like, again, I'm rooting for it, and I love Larry.
Yeah.
But I think each episode has gotten. I didn't watch Fridays, so I'm one behind.
I thought it was going to be History of the World Part 1 type of humor, and there's a little bit of that, but then it's more of a almost Curb Your Enthusiasm bit because he's
it absolutely is.
And then I'm like, all right, and some of them seem funny, but some like a Saturday Night Live sketch that goes on too long. You're like, okay,
yeah, it's hit and miss. No, it's hit and miss.
Like the Lewis and Clark with Seinfeld, that was a good one. And the Rob Reiner was
that
talking
was great
about
as George Washington. That was great. And then
one.
also I like the Boston Tea Party with Lin-Manuel Miranda. Nobody invited Larry to the Boston Tea Party. I thought that was very funny. I thought the Depression was funny. I thought JB Smoove, the Underground Railroad. I thought that was funny.
That was a good one. Oh, you like the one about you like the one about the bread and the soup line in that bit?
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Yeah. But the one that I thought went too long was the Un-American Activities Committee in the 50s.
Yeah.
That's one that I'm like, all right, like, come on, guys. Like, it should have been funnier.
I mean, it's only half an hour. That's what gets me. I'm like, it's only 30 minutes, but when 30 minutes seems like an hour, you know you're in trouble. You're like, wait, what's happening here?
No, you're right. You're right. But at first, I was like, shockingly, maybe it's missing the through line of an episode of Curb where there was still a story happening as the scene was going on. But I have to say, subsequent episodes, now that I'm used to it, I've liked it better. But I haven't seen Friday's episode, so that's the only one.
No, I haven't seen that one yet either. Yeah.
House of Dragons is good this season. If you've been watching that.
Cool.
Silo on Apple.
That's back?
Yes, it's back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it takes place a couple of months after Juliet gets back into the silo. And she's now the mayor.
Is back. The Colin Farrell golden age of LA in the 40s.
That's on again? Oh.
Yep, season 2 of that is on. And then I was telling Wayne, I watched the first couple episodes of Will Ferrell's golf comedy on Netflix.
Yeah, my kids watched it. They said it was fun. Yeah.
It's okay. I'm just tired of Will Ferrell playing the same. This is Ricky Bobby. This is Talladega Nights, but golf instead of that. And I mean, he's been doing this. The one the ABA movie is the same, and the same with the Candidate, the Zach Galifianakis movie that he made. And it's like, yeah, I get it. Big dumb Will Ferrell. It's like he is more talented than that. I go back to Wayne will disagree, but I'll go back to that movie he made with Emma Thompson and Dustin Hoffman, that Stranger Than Fiction, where Emma Thompson is an author and she's writing what she thinks is a fictional story, and she's somehow psychically connected to Will Ferrell's real life. And it's good because it's a little weird, but he's not playing big and stupid like he does in everything else. And it's like, dude, you're better than this, I think.
No.
But anyway.
He's not.
Well, that's fine. You can disagree. But anyway.
I think that's it.
There's a new Ghost in the Machine on Amazon that's really good. That if you love the old anime, the manga series, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is there any detective shows on or anything?
Soon we'll have Lantern.
Well, Sugar is that Colin Farrell thing is, and of course we're getting the Reacher spinoff soon.
I saw that Reacher's coming back. Yeah.
And Reacher's coming back as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, again, guys, honestly, I thought we were going to have a break, and I'm like, geez, if you guys, and I realized Wayne's going to go to San Diego. Well, Franco's not going to go to San Diego.
Oh, no, I know, but I mean, geez, Wayne, you're all over the place. Are you staying in San Diego and then going straight to Vegas, or you
coming back home, getting the F out of the U.S. as quickly as possible?
What's the big reveals? When's D23 happening? Is that's
usually August?
Probably August, yeah.
There's got to be an Avengers Doomsday trailer with Spider-Man, I'm assuming, right? I mean, it's less than 6 months from now, this movie. Are they just assuming everybody's going to go see it? I've already seen 2 Doom trailers.
I got to be honest. I am a little disappointed in Marvel putting whatchamacall back out there. Endgame.
Oh, Endgame with new scenes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like,
don't do
guys,
that. Don't do that because I was like, yeah, are you really going to do that? And say, well, this you in the shadows, you didn't see Doctor Doom off to the side. I go, oh, screw you! Don't ruin that story just to make it look like your new movie. Fuck, that's a cop out, isn't it?
it is a cop out. I agree.
Okay.
But yeah.
What?
At San Diego on Saturday, July 25th, between 5:30 and 6:30.
Yeah.
There'll be a 1-hour presentation. Will feature special guests from the MCU and expected to reveal major details and exclusive footage coming from Avengers Doomsday.
I saw, again, you don't trust anything anymore, but I saw some type of production promotional art. Did you guys see that? And it showed the
Yeah, we
Dr.
talked
Doom
about it last
mask
week. Yeah,
and-
that big,
so that
big
was
panoramic image. Yeah,
that was legit then. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Cap had a beard, and I'm like, oh, okay, so he's not Captain America. He's just, and he's Steve Rogers, which they were quick to point out. Like Steve Rogers will return, and then the poster, he was there with the beard, and then I saw Falcon off to, well, not Captain America off to the
Sam
side.
Wilson
so
is Captain America.
Sam
Yeah,
Wilson. Yeah.
yeah.
So it'll be
Stanley
interesting
wants
see.
to know, Mitch, if you and I are ready for Terrificon. I'm going to say
I have
yes.
no choice. I mean, that's what I do. So even if
And
I wasn't
by the
ready,
way,
I wouldn't say it.
You know, honestly, Mitch. You are always very kind and let me do so many panels at Terrificon. But I noticed I was at Mark Evanier's blog, and he said between moderating and being on panels, 16 panels at San Diego. That's a lot of panels, man. That is a lot of panels.
No, I think the most you ever did was like 11. Maybe.
Well, I don't think so.
No, the
I
first
think
year,
maybe-
the first
think
year I
like 9
made
or
you
10.
work. Yeah, and then I said, "Oh God, I got to tone it down a bit because you were like
No.
losing your voice. It was insane."
Well, again, I'm happy to do them, and I'm like Cronkite. They used to call
Yeah.
Cronkite at CBS. They called him Iron Butt because he'd be like, "I'll be in the Lanker
I'll be
chair
here.
for
I'm not going
5
anywhere.
hours of Apollo coverage," and it's like, yeah, he or the conventions and stuff. So yeah, they called him Iron Butt. So
No,
I'm
I
happy to
give
be
you a
Iron
break
Butt.
so you could mingle with the celebs and hang out in the
Right.
green room and stuff. You know.
I gotta. All right, and again, if you can manage it, Mitch, I really want a picture with Priscilla Presley.
Yeah. All right.
Even a group shot. I don't care. Like if we all
I'm
wanna
doing
be in
that.
there.
Wait, didn't I gave you a celebrity panel? Didn't I? I thought I gave you one of
Last
the
year?
actors. No, this year. Didn't I give you?
You said that you said
no,
they
I
were
gave
going
you-
to meet in.
No, I think I
You
gave you
didn't
Dietrich
specify
Bader.
who.
No, I
Who?
gave you
Who?
Dietrich Bader, didn't I?
Oh, you did mention to me that you're going to let me do Dietrich Bader.
Yeah, because
that's
I
great.
want you to talk about the Batman Brave and the Bold, and I didn't want
Sure.
somebody else to do it because I'm
Oh
like,
God,
dude,
yeah.
stick to comic books. I mean, you could talk about his
Well, we'll certainly mention Drew Carey and the other
Drew
stuff.
Carey and Napoleon Dynamite, and God knows he's done a lot
Office
of stuff.
Space.
But to me, he's Batman.
He's funny in Office Space.
Yeah,
no,
we
he's
wanna
great.
play Batman. I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
having
yeah,
I'm not having a Tick panel, but apparently I have the voice of the Tick from the TV show, the cartoon, and of course I got Patrick Warburton who did the live action. So everyone's like, "Why don't you have the two of them guys talk about it?" I go, "Okay, look, I don't want to disparage an actor, but it is a role that they do, and to have two guys, one's a cartoon Tick and one's a live action Tick." And I think they were only one season each. I don't think it lasted more than
No,
a
it was
year.
only one season.
Yeah,
But
so I mean,
also-
what insight are they going to give you? I mean, I don't know.
Well, but it. I mean, I think it is remembered fondly, and of course,
Yeah.
it's comic book origins. But also, sadly, and I intend to, if I get a moment to speak to Patrick, he made that great movie. Let's all bow our heads for a moment for Sam Neill, from all of his great work in movies and television over the years. But he and Patrick made a movie about Apollo 11 called The Dish. It was an Australian movie because
yes,
you guys remember it? It was on HBO.
I do. It was about the guy. Weren't they tracking John Glenn?
No, it was Apollo 11. It was the moon landing.
Oh, it was the
And
moon. Okay.
To explain to people who maybe haven't seen the movie, there's Houston, of course, tracking the thing. But as the Earth rotates, they needed another radio telescope on the other side of the world, and they put it in Parkes, Australia, which is nothing but sheep country.
Oh,
And Sam Neill played the guy in charge of the dish, and Patrick Warburton played the NASA rep that is there supervising for NASA. It's a great movie. It's a little movie, but it is very, very funny, and it's very sweet.
Well, maybe I'll check that out before the show. I never heard of it. When did it come out? Long ago?
Early 2000s. Early 2000s.
It's called The
late
Dish?
90s. Yeah, The Dish. It's called The Dish.
Okay.
And then also I finally watched, it's a couple years old, but Jason Isaacs, formerly of Star Trek Discovery and other great things, I watched his Cary Grant miniseries, Archie.
That is good. I've seen that. Really good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be honest, I still love, I mean, anything with Cary Grant, you had me at a low. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of that guy's. And also the fact that it was made by his wife, Diane Cannon, and his daughter, Jennifer. Yeah. So I'm like, all right. And yeah, it's interesting. And my God, the makeup. I mean, it's not dead ringer, but it's certainly like they do a hell of a job making him look like Cary Grant. And he certainly sounds like.
I watched Tommy was on the other day.
The
Who's movie, you know.
Yeah, Ken Russell.
And Margaret I was thinking of.
Well, I'm saying the director, but keep going.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying she does a scene in this movie where she gets bombarded by baked beans. And then she rolls around and it looks like crap actually, but I'm hoping it's chocolate. And she's just there. Yeah, okay, sure it is. But anyway, did you ever see Anne Margaret in that Elvis? I think it was the Elvis movie where she walks across the stage and she just does this bizarre strut like she's having some type of seizure. And I don't know if it was dancing. I think maybe.
No. That's from the Tonight Show where she does a dance thing. If you're talking about a video.
No, this was in a movie. This is a movie, and there's a bunch of people like in a scene, and she's walking through, like picking up a phone book, and she's doing these weird gyrations, and everything's bouncing around because there's no bra on whatsoever. And I'm like, she's got like black tights on and underwear, and I'm like, I guess it's sexy, but it's very disturbing. And then when I saw this last night with the baked beans, which I didn't remember, and then I go, okay. They offered me her as a guest for the show, and I'm like, what does she have to do with comic books? But after I watched those scenes with the beans and stuff, I gotta somehow get a hold of Anne Margaret and go, what the hell was going on back then, man?
And when she guest starred on the
Flintstones, yes, I know.
But also, that's the reason, the weirdness of those scenes in Tommy. That's Ken Russell. Ken Russell did Lair of the White Worm, and the movie was called Gothic, and it was about Mary Shelley and Lord Byron all getting.
It was it dealt with the night when she wrote Frankenstein.
Because
was that in the 80s?
Yes.
I think I saw that movie. It was Helen Bonham Carter in it.
I don't remember who played Mary Shelley.
I think I saw that movie, but I'm just telling you. What the hell was Ken? Did he write those Red Shoe Diaries, or was he one of those?
No, that was Solomon King.
Okay, this is a weird thing, man. I don't know.
Well,
I'm very disturbed about this Anne Margaret stuff. I'm getting worked up about a 60-year-old scene.
My favorite. I mean, Pinball Wizard with Elton John and the Giant Boot.
Right.
That's hilarious. My favorite song from Tommy is "Eyesight to the Blind" with Clapton and the Who backing him up. That's a cool scene. But like, I mean, my God, Tina Turner is the acid queen. That's all weird and cool.
Yeah.
And no, there's a lot of disturbing stuff in Tommy. A lot of disturbing stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Gothic was 1986.
Oh, okay.
And here's another great Jason Isaac movie that everyone should watch. The Death of Stalin. It is freaking hilarious.
Yep.
It is without a doubt. And it is another all-star cast of people dealing with the death of Stalin and who's going to take his place. And it is funny.
Okay.
I want to say that Diane Wiest or Judy, I forget her last name, is in Death of Stalin as well.
Judi Dench?
But not Dench. Like the same age as like Diane Wiest. Diane Wiest was in all the Woody Allen movies in the 80s.
Yeah, no, I know Diane Wiest. Wasn't she the mom in Edward Scissorhands?
Yes, she was. Yes.
Anyway.
But no, I love I really enjoyed Death of Stalin.
I'll tell you what, speaking of easy on the eyes that we weren't doing, but I'm gonna bring it up. Miss Priscilla Presley will be at Terrificon, and I'm doing her panel, unless I chicken out and I throw it to Johnny at the last minute, because that has happened. But
I'm happy to back up.
They sent me some publicity stills and photos and such to promote. And Elvis, he knew what he was getting into. I'm just telling you, I saw some shots from the 70s. Forget the 80s when she was in the Naked Gun movies, which she was amazing looking.
She was lovely though back then.
She was only in her 30s about then, because I'm like, wait, how old is she? She's
well,
80
honestly,
now.
yeah. I mean, truly, and I'll talk to you about it, but I would be very curious because she was barely of age when she married Elvis.
I
know
understand
when they
that.
were dating,
Yes.
that there was always a chaperone because they met obviously in Germany.
Yeah.
Elvis was in the army and stuff.
And her dad was a general and whatever, or something like that.
Right. No,
but I'll tell you, man,
I'm thrilled you got her. I'm thrilled you got her.
They sent me a bikini picture. I was like, it's up there with Raquel Welch stuff. It's like, holy, she was a looker back in there. I didn't know she was a model. I thought she was Mrs. Elvis and did some or was it Dallas? And that was the end of it. But
Dallas,
oh my goodness gracious, she was up there with Bo Derek and Cheryl Teague.
Truly, that's why at least if I get a photo with her, I have every intention of going. You were great in the Naked Gun movies. You were great on Dallas, and congratulations on carving your own niche beyond the shadow. Yeah. What a life.
Yeah.
Probably.
Boy.
Probably of course, Yoko is certainly accomplished. I'm not a big fan of Yoko's work on her own, but I certainly will respect the body of work and her place in avant-garde art. But I would say she and Priscilla are the rock and roll wives that really kind of made their own mark.
Yeah. No, yeah, they are.
I
can't think of anybody else up there. I mean, Linda McCartney.
Linda leaned on Paul, and that's okay. I don't blame Paul for putting his wife in the band. That's okay.
Sharon Osbourne, she had her own thing.
Yeah, that's true. No, you're right about that, Mitch. That's a fair point.
But most of the rest, no. A lot of these guys were married 4 or 5 times, but that's the other thing. Other than Yoko, I can't think of anybody.
Oh, Mitch also.
Barbara Bach. Oh, duh. Hello.
Well, yeah. Well, you're right about you're right about that. Although she pretty much retired after Caveman with Ringo.
Caveman wasn't a way to go out.
But Stanley, he's right. Ben Edlund, the guy
who's from around here. Ben Edlund's from, I think, Massachusetts.
Yes, I knew that. Yes, I forgot.
I don't know where he is now. I don't know. I mean, I'd love to have him here.
He's probably in LA, but he's a really interesting guy. He worked on, of course, he worked for a long time on Supernatural. He also, by the way, a good puppet episode. He wrote the Angel Smile Time puppet episode. I wonder if the Strange New Worlds guys, I wonder where they got that idea from.
No kidding. I did not know he was a TV writer. I did not.
Yeah. Oh, very much so. And he worked on the first season of Powers, Bendis and Omega's television series.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was at Baltimore Comic Con a couple years ago when I was there. So
he's a really. I've had him on the show. Very nice guy.
Well, you have his email. If you got it, I think it's probably too late now. If he's nearby, put the call out. If he's nearby, I got an extra hotel room. He could come.
If I can find it, I'll do it.
What'd you say, Wayne?
Put up the tick light.
Put up the tick light. There you go.
And got it. Well, if you ever got Mickey Dolenz, of course, he was Arthur.
Oh,
sidekick.
I know.
In the original cartoon.
Mickey Dolenz does a lot of shows around here, believe it or not. He does.
Oh, no, he comes to Chicago.
He comes here a lot.
Every few years. So
he comes here
it's funny, Mitch. What? Not this year, but maybe next year with my buddy Owen from Tala Academy of Sequential Art. We're doing a Steve Ditko documentary. I'm narrating it.
Oh.
Owen did all the heavy lifting. But he was saying, if Mitch wants it for Terrificon this year, I'm like, I bet his programming is full, but it would be fun next year, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, no, again,
I would love to do a bit about Mr. Ditko. There's a lot of people out there that know about me and say, hey, didn't you meet him? Maybe I did. Anyway. Speaking of John Cimino, there's going to be a documentary about Stan Lee coming out this week or next week, done by what's the guy's name? There was not Matt Anderson, the other guy, Bowler Jack or something. He was a friend of Stan Lee's. He was there. It's called Stan the Last Days or something. The Last Days.
Oh, I had heard about that.
It's like a documentary or something. Yeah, and they were trying to get funding for a long time, and it's I think it's coming on video on demand. I saw some article. And I don't know if I'll be watching this because it doesn't look like it's going to be fun watching Stan just being shoved in a closet towards the end.
Well, he was at God damn it.
That guy, what was the guy's name?
West Coast Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley Con, and the guy that called me that wanted like a $500,000 guarantee and 8 flights. Kia, the guy that was like showing Stan how to write his name. He was in a tuxedo and a top hat, and Stan started going, "I know how to write my name," or whatever. It was towards the end, like just before he passed away. But it was not a.
The photos are depressing because literally it's like somebody had to have had like a hook in his back to literally prop him up because they're really like he's like slumping to the side like an old man.
Well, he wasn't an old man. He was 90-something years old. He'd just come off a lung infection or a pneumonia. Yeah. It was bad, man. No,
they ran him into the ground. They really ran him into the ground.
They did. They really did. I mean, nobody should have to deal with that. Yeah. So I'm just curious if you had watched it because I saw it was making the rounds.
No, I'm just aware of it. But the Ditko documentary that Owen is making, my buddy Owen McCauley, it dispels a lot of myths. I was telling Wayne because everyone thinks that Ditko was this like recluse, and it's like no, he just like he led a normal life and just didn't believe in celebrity. That's all.
That's all.
I mean,
Paul Kupperberg met him plenty of times. You can talk to Paul. Paul worked with him on some DC stuff, and
So did Jack Harris.
He was making those little books. He would self-publish these little tiny comics and stuff. Yeah. And he was always active. He would do the Mr. A thing, and you'd talk about his Ayn Rand stuff or whatever it was.
Mark, his nephew Mark is interviewed for the documentary. Jack Harris, the former DC editor, who was a very good friend of Steve's, he's in the documentary. And then my buddy, the comic historian, Dr. Zach Crucy, who wrote one of the books about Ditko in the last 20 years.
Well, you know what, too? And he worked down here in Charlton Comics. Right up the street from me here in Connecticut, at Derby, Connecticut. He did Blue Beetle and Captain Atom and a bunch of stuff for Charlton back in the day.
Sure he did. Yeah.
So,
No. By the way, God, I really want that documentary to come out.
I know. I knew you were going to say that. I don't know what happened with that kid. Dude, I donated to that campaign like $500 because he's got so many great interviews with people that aren't here anymore. I mean, he's got Neil Adams on there. I think he's got he might have his Denny O'Neil was on there because Denny worked at Charlton as
sure he did.
Ed O'Shaughnessy or something. He had like a pseudonym or Noom de Plume.
Seamus O'Shaughnessy.
And then Joe Staten's on it. Yep. John Byrne's on it. They got Byrne to talk about working at Charlton Comics. So many people, and I think he's got like 12 hours or more of just interviews about what it was like to be a Bob Layton's in it. I'm in it.
Yep.
But I don't know whatever happened. He ran out of money. And I've talked to him since, and I said, why don't you just put it out there, serialize it, and put it up on the YouTubes or whatever and make money on it that way. I get you want to make money, but I mean, no one's done a Charlton Comics documentary. That's what's amazing
because it was mob backed and everything.
Oh, damn well it was. You're damn right it was.
Those guys went to jail because not for any comic book stuff they did, because of they would print song lyrics in
the hip parade. They didn't have the song rights, the trademark copyrights and all that. They went to jail for that. And that's how they started. Yeah. The guys met each other in jail. And they were like in cell block C and like, hey, let's do funny books. But I told you
because they had all the machinery.
Yeah, they had all this. The difference is, I don't think people understand it. It was over here on Division Street. It was this massive building. They had the writers and artists in one department, and then down the hall they had the printmaking stuff, the photo guys and all that, and they burned the plates. And then they had the printing press at the other end of the building. So they were literally one-stop shop. You got the guys writing the books, printing it, and then they put it on a truck and they distribute it around here. And then Howard could tell you about distribution because it was all mob connected, because they used to have the bootleggers would deliver liquor, and then once booze got legal they had to figure out something else, so they got into magazine distribution. Why not? Makes sense. So they would distribute the comic books and magazines and stuff. It was all mob thing. But I was going to tell you one story that not a lot of people know. During the war, World War II, the big one, FBI guys came to Troutland Comics to speak to the owner, Mr. Santangelo, because they had found out that they sold a printing press, one of the ones they had, to Mussolini, and they were shipping it out of New York down near Lucky Luciano's docks down in New York City, and it was getting on a boat, and they were going to send this printing press to Italy. And they were afraid that they were going to make counterfeit money with this press and try to flood the market and ruin the economy and stuff. So the FBI comes to their offices and they said, "You do know, sir, that we are at war with the Italians. So why are you selling them this printing equipment?" They go, "It's okay. That printing press is broke." So they sold a broken printing press to Mussolini.
Outstanding.
Thank you, America. Thank you.
Yeah. Keeping in the documentary talk alive, I supported the Get Me Doug Jones documentary that was a Kickstarter. So I'll
Doug
be
Jones,
looking
who was
forward
here
to that.
last year.
Yep.
Man, he was so nice to everybody.
He was.
He really was great.
He's a general.
And I'm so happy for him. And really, as you guys know, kind of owes a lot of his camera career to David Hyde Pierce, because in the Hellboy movies, he was doing both movies as Abe Sapien, and Pierce very voluntarily in the second movie is like, let Doug do it. He's doing the heavy lifting acting, and he sounds great. You don't need me for this movie. Doug can do this, and everything opened up for Doug ever since.
Doug is in Batman Returns. Did you know that? He told me, I forgot that. He's one of those tall, the Red Circle Gang or Red Triangle Gang, whatever the hell they were called back in Batman Returns. So very nice guy. Did you talk to him about Star Trek at all? Did you talk to him about that?
I only very briefly, because he was
busy.
I didn't. Well, and also what I did see, and those guys that are always at your show that are like a Star Trek fan club.
Oh yeah,
he was incredibly generous to them, and really spent time with them, and that was really great, and they loved it. And I if you don't have anything nice to say about, and again, I love Saru. He's just surrounded by a really
great
bad
character.
show.
Yeah,
and I don't want it's like Picardo being in Academy, where I've made the sports analogy before, where it's like you're not going to crap on your losing team. You're going to support your team. So I would never, so I didn't want to hey, I really liked Discovery, Doug. It was really good, because it wasn't, but he was great. So but I did say I really enjoyed your performances in general, and if anything, I brought up Abe Sapien more so.
And he hugs everybody.
Yeah, he does.
He is just he's such
a hugger. He's a hugger.
Sweet guy, definitely.
He's a close talker. Oh no, that's Tom Hiddleston. Tom Hiddleston. I swear to God, I thought he was going to kiss me, but I'll be seeing him soon too. I'm going to see him on Broadway. Yes, he's got a new documentary about Pompeii. He and Miss Haley Atwell, who was here last year,
her.
They will be in some William Shakespeare thing. I can't think of it.
Oh, okay.
And it's a singing and dancing thing. So they're singing.
Kiss Me, Kate.
No, it's not Kate. Yeah, it was Shakespeare wrote "Kiss Me."
Whoa, hey, "Kiss Me, Kate" is based on a Shakespeare play, dude.
It's
that's not the one they're in, pal.
It's Taming of the Shrew.
Midnight Summer's Dream, or whatever. Midsummer's Dream, or
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Something. What a bouncy
scene.
Right. Go back to Canada. Go back there. Go eat your freaking Tim Hortons.
Yes, I know what he was saying. It's all right.
Nobody else did.
All right, everybody. There you go. I'm counter programming with San Diego coming, and tomorrow night I'm going to have another movie show. We'll be doing Scene Missing. My friend Lady V, Veronica Samuels of Washington D.C., and I will be talking about an interesting Sean Connery movie from 1964 with Gina Lollobrigida and Ralph Richardson. It's called Woman of Straw. It's an interesting suspense movie. About 2 years after he started doing Bond, and an interesting film at that point in Connery's career. It was her suggestion. But also, you're also going to see this week an interview with my buddy Owen McCauley about the Ditko documentary that he is making and I am narrating. And Michael Stratford's going to be on. He was in the chat earlier. He's got a Blaxploitation Kickstarter that he's starting up.
Oh, nice.
And more surprises. So, yeah, Word Balloon chugs along. And we'll certainly acknowledge San Diego news as it happens. And maybe, again, depending on, because I know it's getting close for Mitch, hopefully we're available next. I mean, I'm going to do something.
No,
next Sunday.
we could do a Star Trek next week. I got to get one
Good.
bitch session in before the show. Real quick,
maybe Francis will be with us. Maybe I know Wayne will be on assignment. But
your
maybe
buddy Gabe Hardman did a Twilight Zone book. Just came out issue 8 or 9. I think it's 8. Very good. It's a standalone. You don't have to read them. It's an anthology. It's obviously the Twilight Zone. It's in black and white, just like the show. So if you get a chance, it's good. Number 9's out already. I didn't pick up 9. I just picked up Gabe's book and his DC book. I can't think of the title. That's out.
It's a Batman Question Green Arrow story.
Yes,
it's called Arcadia.
Yes.
Yeah. He completed that. Yeah, we talked. He and I did, and he also is doing. He did a GI Joe silent issue that was great.
Oh,
and he also did. He started a Rocketeer miniseries.
Yes,
IDW.
Infiltrator. I got that. Yes,
picked that up. No, Gabe's on a tear.
He could have come here, but I heard he's too busy, so that's fine.
Well, he's
in San Diego.
He storyboarded Disclosure Day. The Spielberg.
I know he did.
So yeah.
Maybe in his storyboards they talked about how they could hide behind a rock and not be seen by bad guys.
Stupid. It's all right. There you go, everybody. So full week coming up on Word Balloon Live. I hope you'll join us.
Thanks for the smoke coming into my town and ruining my air breathing.
Yeah, no shit, Wayne.
Hey, thanks for your president not believing in climate change.
Yeah, well, now that you're getting good tariff,
but that has nothing to do with
your shitty smoke. They didn't have this smoke when I grew up. I said that. I was talking to my mother. I never heard of Canadian smoke for 60 years on this planet. Now it's every other week.
Yeah, it's because of climate change.
Also,
get it out of here. Put a plug in or something.
I never smelled it like horrible. I did this week.
Yes,
and it really
It was like a barbecue without the meat.
On my weather forecast app on my phone, it will do the air quality.
Yeah.
And when it's 80 or above, it's bad for people that have trouble breathing.
It was 172.
It was in the 300s, Mitch.
Dude.
At least down by me, it was 300s.
Yeah. How do you like living on Venus, bitch? That's what my phone said to me.
Hey. Come on. The smoke stayed up here too because Toronto had the worst air quality than New Delhi.
They deserve it. Did you see the picture I posted with the red sun?
Yeah.
I was like, my God, I'm like Krypton.
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 No, not Krypton.
Krypton.
Yeah, Krypton. If you're Marlon Brando, exactly.
Whatever. Jesus, Wayne, work on it. Will you get over there and get some water and put that shit out?
Yeah. Get on that, will you, Wayne?
Get it, Wayne.
Yeah, I'll do that between now and till I fly out to San Diego. Yeah.
All right. Next Sunday, a full-blown review of Strange New Worlds episode 1 and some likely other TV and film that we're watching. So join us then. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy.